ocean, I'm lost. Can't find a new emotion that's ever enough. And you can't deny it's real, 'cause there's no deeper love, baby, yeah. 'Cause there's no deeper love than what we're feeling. There's no deeper
Hello guys and welcome to the VGL Spring Split 1. That's right, VGL is back, the Challenger Series is back, and I have two wonderful gentlemen to help me through it. Now, before I introduce them, before they bring them onto the stage, I'll just give you a little run through about what you can expect for the VGL Challenger Series Spring Split 1. Now, it's divided into two splits, that's pretty usual, and each split has a 64 team double elimination bracket where every single game is a best of 3 and the finals is a best of 5. There is a $5,000 prize pool across both of the splits, and obviously we have some great prizes all brought to you by Elgato as well, which I'll go into later. However, without further ado, I should introduce my two wonderful gentlemen here who will be casting today's games. First of which is probably the most attractive human this side of California. I have to get a heart checkup every time I end up seeing him in real life, and that is Humanist. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh my, what an intro. I'm doing great, bud. How are you?
I'm really, really good, thanks, dude. I'm just really enjoying it. I had some nice time, really happy to be back with Vainglory, and happy to have you, because I haven't heard your voice in quite a while, and it's always a pleasure.
I haven't got to cast some VG in a while, and I'm actually really hyped on this.
Same. Anyway, the next gentleman, you will all know him very, very well. In Germany, they call him Das Leckerspecht, I believe. And it is Tasty Bacon. Buddy, how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful here. I am super excited to get another season of Vainglory underway. And, of course, really excited to be here casting a Vainglory League with the two of you.
Yes, it's going to be great. Now, I should tell you who we have coming up, and I'm just going to show you that up on your screen now. As I just get that set up, we have a lot of really, really cool matches coming your way. And today we'll show you these ones. So, we have Team Azeroth versus Final Gaming VG. This is the first game of the day, which will be coming up ASAP. We then have Team Queso versus Insane Esports coming up at 7 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, we have Team Midgets versus Dark Lions. And at 9 o'clock, we have Mindhunters versus Glaven Esports. Some of these names will be fairly well known. If you watch the VGL Blitz tournament, you'll know of Team Queso. They did really, really well in that. And some of these teams have been around the Challenger scene for a little while. So, that's what we have to expect today. Gentlemen, are you looking forward to some of your first VG back of the new year?
I am ready for it. You know, like, it's two things for me, though, Scoundrel. It's like the excitement, like I said, not being able to cast for a while, which I'd love to do. And then also being able to cast on this new patch. And I guess three things. And then also being over in Europe, which, you know, I get to play mostly in North America. So we're going to, you know, I get to see all the things today.
Well, I think Europe's had to do a lot of soul searching after Worlds. So hopefully, hopefully it'll all start here in the Challenger Series where we grow the new talent, we foster the new talent to make it towards that newly named VG8 series, no longer the Evil 8, now known as the VG8. I'm just waiting for admins to let us know, and we should be soon ready to get into this first game. But gentlemen, how have you been enjoying the new patch? I mean, there's a lot of new changes, a lot of new heroes coming up. Humanist, you've been playing at a high level. What have you been seeing?
Well, I've been having fun. I think one of the things that's fair to say and that I'm really happy with is that almost everything is viable right now. Like, you can take your own unique approach to the game. There are certain picks that are still pretty popular. One of the things that I'm trying to find out is where does Grumpjaw really fit in overall. Haven't been able to make him work personally, and I haven't had him too effective against me.
That's interesting because he's not playable this week, I believe, because I think he's only just come off. He's going on Glory Price on Thursday, I think. So you have to wait.
So he's not available. For
not
the
available this
series.
week. The only way I've managed to make Grumpjaw work is playing him a little bit like a CP Alpha, and basically playing like Aftershock, Broken Myth, and going full tank. Only way I've made Grumpjaw work. I mean, I think his weapon power is awful. I genuinely think weapon power Grumpjaw is awful. I think if you're going to pick something like weapon power Grumpjaw, you just pick Glaive and it's better. So, yeah, I mean, I've not had too much success. Bacon, have you?
Glaive's insane.
Yeah,
I mean, you brought up Glaive, but like legit, that is the hero I do not want to mess with.
Absolutely. We are into the draft phase. Gentlemen, Bacon, bring you in here, buddy. How are you doing? Petal ban, no surprise?
Yeah, not really surprised to see Petal banned. I'm expecting to see a lot of focus around Ringo and Vox as far as laners are concerned. Those two have been heavily featured in some of the other competitions that I've been casting. Lyra also very highly contested along with Finn, so keep your eye on those two as your top two captains as well. So with the Taka getting banned away here, I'm really surprised to see Taka banned away actually. After his bug fix.
I was about to say, if you ban Taka, you're probably picking Lance, especially since I feel that Lance is still up there as like a top captain hero right now. Actually, to be honest, Lance is the hero that I got Vainglorious with, so I can't really say any otherwise. And they're going to go for Samuel as well. Early rotation Samuel draft here, Humanist. Again, this is the one ban format for the Challenger Series. No intentions of moving into the two ban format just yet, but one ban staying as it is.
I like it. I hadn't done casting in so long, I forgot I had to get an extra pair of headphones for my tablet. I was just rocking the volume out loud. I was like, wait, we got to do that. Yeah, Samuel coming through. So I like this a lot. Lyra is definitely part of the meta right now as it's developing. And I think Samuel's one of the heroes that deals with Lyra pretty well. You stay at range, you control from a distance, oftentimes building up a Frostburn. I think it brings a lot to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really surprised actually that we haven't seen Ringo or Vox get picked up all the way this deep into the draft, and not at all. I mean, obviously the differences between Europe and North America clearly coming through here, because in North America, Ringo and Vox are the two most contested laners in the game at the moment. And both of them
Ringo had a slight hit in the last patch, but I still think he's pretty strong. Now, gentlemen, we're about to head onto the Halcyon Fold. Heroes locked in, and that means I'm going to hand it over to you two wonderful men to take us through the first game of the Vainglory League Challenger Series Spring Split 1. Humanist and Bacon, go for it.
All right, thank you very much, Scoundrel, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Halcyon Fold. As soon as we load into this, Bacon, we talked about it, we're excited. Looking at these drafts, you have one you think's a little bit stronger. It's definitely pretty unique.
Yeah, I feel like the draft that is coming out from the side of, I actually don't even, their name is not similar to their tag.
Azeroth and Final Gaming.
Yeah, the Final Gaming is, their tag is not exactly, oh no, it was showing the guild
Fuji
tags.
Gods.
It was showing the guild tags on the loading screen, and that's what I was seeing. So, like, the guild tag was like RWLS. I was like, that has nothing to do with either of these two teams. But the Final Gaming, I preferred their draft a little bit more just because I feel like they have that little bit extra tankiness and survivability in fights, but they're going at it.
Yeah, action right off the bat. Nwahaha! Getting locked down and chunked down. Nice first blood very quickly. Alpha's going to be having that termination protocol popped off. Oh, that's double kill here. I don't know. You come in like that, you overextend with the jewel early on. I feel like you really want to get your level 2 up before you're like really engaging there.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only level 2, but also getting an item or two in your belt. You have the Book of Eulogies that's not going to do you well in a level 1 team fight. And that's exactly what we saw. You know, the Tide of Azeroth just able to really dominate the level 1 fight. Maybe a little bit of a mistake from Final Gaming to go so aggressive at level 1.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Looks like they're getting some nice damage onto the Gwyn here up in the lane. Lance poking, doing his job there. The weapon jewel really just needs to farm. You want to talk about weapon jewel? We don't see it too much, especially up in the lane.
Yeah, well, putting it in the lane is kind of interesting because of the fact that you have this Samuel who can do so well in the lane, but the jewel is actually a little bit safer in the lane, believe it or not, because you don't have to worry about jungle invades. But right now, speaking of jungle invades,
it's a jungler invading. Well, Samuel made his rotate up, and he hit his level 2 right there, so he didn't have the Drifting Dark to throw out for that Malice and Verdict, but a lot of harass coming through. There you go. That's the Drifting Dark. Malice Verdict's going to miss. Second Malice pumped up. They come through. They get that kill right there. So these guys, they know how they want to play it out. Maybe the first engagement didn't really tell the story.
yeah, getting a little bit back on the board here now, getting a little bit of damage onto the turret as well, as Joke is just going to have to sit there and watch because he's so low on health. He has to just play safe for now. New ha ha ha. Doing quite a bit of such a good name. It really is.
It really is. Can't touch me on this alpha frontlining. It's gonna have that infinite reboot popped off again. You gotta be careful here. Maybe it's bought enough time. They're very low. They're gonna get one. They're gonna get two. Bacon. What a bait right there. Alpha doing a good job. They're gonna go in with the prime directive. It's the ace in your face. 5-1. Starting things off.
Can't touch me. Narrowly getting out after that last turret shot, but with the ace coming through, definitely
he's getting trolled over the wall. Did you see that? He was trying to core charge through, couldn't get it. That was nice.
Yeah, very, very strong start for Azeroth, though, picking up 5 kills in the first 3 minutes. Now they're going to go ahead and grab themselves an Ancient Treant as well for their troubles.
Nice.
A lot of damage done to that turret just from the minions, too, and a lot of minions getting killed by the turret, which is really going to set back New ha 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 quite a bit.
How are we pronouncing the Samuel's name?
Jogale?
I'm gonna say Jogle.
Jogle works. Jogle's a little bit quicker.
It's just, you know,
There's a couple names that take a while to say, so throwing in a nice quick one will help out.
All right, Impale comes forward. Rocket Leap forward. Nice
bulwark.
Bulwark down. Go ahead and cancel that off. Gwyn actually going down to the Malice and Verdict there. Joel making the rotate up and then making it work with the Samuel right now.
Yeah, those sneaky Malice and Verdicts coming around the side of the minions and just catching onto the target, allowing them to get that kill. Jungle intensifies. Love that new call out.
I was playing with my buddy who doesn't play too much, and when the jungle intensified, he was like, wait, what just happened? I was like, oh, not too much. Well, these guys, it's Final Gaming, spending a lot of time up in the lane here. And they are getting a couple, they gotten a couple kills off this rotation. I'm worried that they spend so much time, though. I'd like to see Samuel continuously have some item progression.
Yeah, I mean, you look back when that last kill happened about, actually, hold on, can't touch me.
Can't touch me. Prime directives in. He's on top of the Samuel. He's trying to get back into a better position. Shooter's taking a lot of damage. Doesn't have energy there. Now he does. He can go ahead and get a heal out, but Termination Protocol. Well, the infinite reboot. I said that twice already. Gosh. I'm a little tired. It's Pacific time for me, boys. But that infinite reboot popped off again. No harm, no foul. They are getting pretty good chip damage onto this turret, though. Githian Wall, they'll find the stun. Prime directives in, gets the kill. Very nice job. And Lyra's just kind of hanging out, watching over here. Not sure what's going on there. Alpha moves forward, gets taken down on the chase. Samuel doing a nice job.
Yeah, good job by Can't Touch Me and Joke to kind of dissuade that turret push. And like you mentioned, this has really been the directive of Final Gaming. Has been trying to just stay in this lane, force their opponents out of the lane, and try and get damage onto this turret. But you do have to start wondering, because, I mean, about 2 minutes ago, Jogle had 10 CS to his name. Now he's got 11. Like, they spent so much time in the lane. Jogle really wasn't gaining anything off of that other than some experience, but they're splitting the experience 3 ways. So even the experience is heavily diminished. And as he does finally clear out his own side of the jungle, that will definitely help out.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good right now. I think your criticism definitely holds water. Rocket Leap forward. Joke's gonna actually be able to reposition himself. They turn it around. Jewel taking a lot of damage. He's first to go down. Joke trying to reposition him back there. Jogel getting his Malice and Verdicts off. Can't Touch Me still has that ult available. I don't know if they want to go in. Prime Directive in. Can't Touch Me. Almost finds that kill, but Gwen is actually able to get that from range. Termination Protocol gonna be popped off. Turret's locked onto the Alpha. Yeah, Alpha's gonna be going down here. Sigil's able to boost Joke into a better position. They'll get some nice return damage onto the turret of Final Gaming over here.
Yeah, Alpha with the Termination Protocol, if you have turret aggro and you aren't able to lose the turret aggro, it does not reset the damage increase. So if you end up getting that Termination Protocol popped while you're still under the turret, you are almost always going to end up falling there. But absolutely worthwhile for the side of Azeroth as they pick up a couple more kills. They've got that turret down to about half health. When you look at the items, it's actually going pretty well. Alpha having the Aftershock, and of course Gwen with the Sorrow Blade. They just need to kind of stick to their guns and keep dealing with this pressure that Final Gaming is trying to put onto the lane.
Gwen
They
needs to
continue
stick
to
to their
defend.
guns, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Glad you caught it.
They're doing pretty well, Bacon. I really do think is this Team Azeroth over here?
Oh.
Yeah, look at this. The Alpha comes into that Prime Directive. Nice AoE damage. Gwen trying to find a target to lock onto here. And really, everybody's spreading the damage. The Prime Directive is just on the 3. Infinite reboot. I don't think he got Termination Protocol activated there. Goes down to the turret again. A little overzealous. They'll trade it back. It's a 2-for-1. Azeroth doing a pretty good job. Careful with that Malice from the range there. But I think Azeroth's lineup, I really like what they've drafted up here. I think they will have more and more success as the game goes on, because you're gonna have to deal with this Alpha who can get into the backline so easy. You saw him chase right there, like they couldn't actually get away, and the whole time Gwen's just gonna get stronger and stronger from range.
Yeah, I really want to see this Samuel and Jewel pick up a little bit of defense right now, because you're seeing how much damage that Alpha is doing anytime she goes in with the Prime Directive. It's that massive AoE burst, and neither of these two carries have any defense to help mitigate that damage. And all she has to do is hit one of them, and the damage is going on to all 3. So hopefully they do start itemizing into a little bit of shield to help better defend, and then I feel like Final Gaming could potentially turn around, because they have so much crowd control, so much lockdown on their team.
The worst is like when you juke the Prime Directive and your teammate doesn't, but it hits you anyway because it hit him, and you're like, no. Why did you do that? That's how Jewel got her name right here. Probably at that moment actually happened. Can't Touch Me is up into the lane. Prime Directive's forward. It's gonna only hit the Jewel. Stunned up against the wall. Let's see, can he get the Termination Protocol off this time? Yes, and Jewel's going to be going down. Can't Touch Me moves forward. The full damage is not gonna go off onto anybody in Final Gaming, but they do get the kill. They're up 11 kills to the 5 of Final Gaming. They've got a net worth lead, and looks like they're going for a gold miner.
And they should be able to take this gold mine down pretty safely. Some members of Final Gaming are coming to take a look, though.
Oh, they're gonna get in here. Impale just a little bit late. They're gonna chase here. Jogel. Oh no, that's not where you wanted to be. Killy Boss is gonna try and get out of here. Crystal Sentry will back him up. Not gonna let his lance go down like that.
Crystal Sentry, probably my favorite addition to the patches of late from the off season. I absolutely love what it brings to the jungle after it was tweaked a little bit. I wasn't a huge fan of it on the first patch they were introduced. Thought they were maybe a little bit too aggressive, too defensive of their territory. But now that they've been tweaked a little bit, they only go after you once they spot you if you're like within a much closer range. I really, really like the Crystal Sentry addition to the House of Unfold.
Yeah, I mean, strategically, it's really cool where, he even if he's not being aggroed at the time, you can just start drawing the fight back towards him, and suddenly, before your opponents know it, like you have this massive advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's a little overbearing when they first released him, but now you can still sneak into your enemy jungle. You can still try and oppose the opponents in their jungle at their backs without drawing the aggro of the Crystal Sentry. And I feel like that's the key, is that you still have the option to be able to play aggressively in the opponent's jungle. It's just a lot more difficult now. Whereas when they first introduced, it was almost impossible to play aggressive in your opponent's jungle. But here we go.
Oh, looks like they wanted to go into Lyra, but that's not going to work. Oh, they're going to actually lose one right off the bat. Final Gaming trying to get back. Can't touch me. He's going to let that termination protocol. Is it going to go off for the ace here? He's actually way out of range. They're able to get it anyway. 15-5. That's the ace right here. Team Azeroth seemed to be in complete control.
Oh yeah, 15-5, like you mentioned, the Sentry, it goes down for the first time as well. It's one of those 3 lives taken out. Can't touch me. He's just going to farm up this jungle pretty aggressively while the team goes and shoves down this lane. They're going to get their second turret destroyed before Nuhaha can get there. That's a nice explosion of coins for Nuhaha at the very least, but it is just not working out thus far for the side of Final Gaming.
No, it's not. I mean, you talked earlier about how, you know, especially like Samuel, he doesn't want to build up defense, wants to be dishing out damage for his team. But if Alpha gets on him with the Prime Directive, which is pretty easy, he just pops. And Broken Myth completed for Can't Touch Me. His damage is very respectable right now.
Yeah, really, really difficult damage to deal with coming out of Can't Touch Me. And then, of course, you still have to deal with Joke. You know, Joke's kind of been an unsung hero, so to speak, but big fight.
Big fight right here. Joke taking some damage. Can he get back? Aces High is going to land. They turned it around. Bacon! Team Azeroth. I love the reactions right here. And it looks like Lance probably caught. He's going to get trolled out by that arcane passage. Perfectly all calculated and intended as Shooter meant to do it. Another ace for Team Azeroth.
Very, very well-played team fight positioning and reaction times, as you mentioned. You know, again, when I go back to Joke, we haven't really said Joke's name too much because, you know, the flashy plays are coming out of Can't Touch Me on this alpha. But Joke is 11-2. Like, that is one of the quietest 11-2s I have seen in Vainglory in quite some time, because Joke's just being so solid, just staying safe on the back lines, not going down, and just constantly putting out damage, building up those breaking point stacks.
I love the way you put that. Just the quietest 11-2. It really says exactly how it feels. But that's what they've drafted here, right? It's Alpha in the front lane. It's Alpha making plays and Gwen poking around from the backside, cleaning it up. So our eyes oftentimes on what Can't Touch Me's doing. There's gonna be an impale. Let's see if he can get a Githing wall back. He's gonna stun up on a 2. Aces High lands on a Jewel. Mwahaha! Chopped it down. And this is just looking worse and worse here. Malice and Verdict. Well, Malice misses, Verdict lands. Malice and Verdict's gonna land right there. Prime Directive for Can't Touch Me. He's on the Joggle. Impale's gonna be off the mark. I'm gonna get the Termination Protocol off right there. Can't Touch Me is gonna explode. 1163 damage onto the turret. Another ace. I don't know, it's like 4 or 5 aces for these guys. They'll take the Arcane Passage back out to safety. And these guys, they don't even need the lane minions.
And now there's gonna be those ace buff minions making their way into the base, because that third and final lane turret has been destroyed. Azeroth, they are looking to just close this one out cleanly as we get up to 14 minutes, 1 minute away from Kraken. I don't know if they'll even need the Kraken, but when you're this close, you may as well just back off and get that, you know, additional security blanket in.
See, I would have really loved that they like hide in the surprise like gank bush right now when they were retreating instead of backing up, because the movement off of Final Gaming, they would have just aced them like right here. They just walked up, like they didn't even check this bush until this moment.
Yeah, especially if, you know, after taking out that Crystal Sentry, they don't have that extra vision in the jungle, but they may look to go for it right now. Joggle taking a ton of damage.
Joke making the plays. That wasn't a quiet carry. Double kill for the Gwen right there. They're going for Killy Boss. Looks like it's gonna be almost a triple kill. Can't Touch Me denying that triple. Another ace here for Team Azeroth, and pretty dominant showing here in game 1.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're gonna get in onto these turrets now. They're just melting with these minions stripping away that barrier. And this will be game number 1 going to Azeroth, 24-5. It was a pretty interesting start to the game, but once Azeroth got the head of steam, there was just no stopping them.
Yeah, I mean, the small success that Final Gaming was finding was when they were holding Samuel in the lane early, and so that was like a 3 versus 2 advantage. The whole time, though, Can't Touch Me was farming, so he was getting levels, he was getting item progression, and that just proved too much to handle.
Joke with almost double the amount of gold that Nuhaha was able to pick up in the lane. Absolutely disgusting how good this Gwen was. And again, like, it wasn't even the main focus of the team, because you're spending so much time worried about Can't Touch Me on this alpha that you just don't even realize that Joke is just tearing you apart.
Well, yeah, Scoundrel. Oh no. Classic. Yeah, I mean that's how Bacon said it, and like I said before, I thought that was a really good way to say it. It was just Gwen on the back lines. She just very quietly was able to find kills through these fights. Before we know it, we looked down. It was like 11-3, and it felt like those kills would have been evenly spread across the team, if anything, or maybe onto Alpha.
So, definitely didn't have a micro muted again because I was trying to figure out how to not ruin my keyboard. That's the last time it'll ever happen, chat. Trust me, last time. Just it's teething problems, you know. When I become the new host for VGL, I've got to get it out of the way now so that chat can berate me now, and then later on I won't do it, and then chat can say, don't worry, it's just Excalibur.
And they can berate us later.
Yeah.
I said Termination Protocol twice. I don't feel too bad.
I think saying Termination Protocol is slightly less worse than muting your microphone when you're trying to intro the analysts back to the post-game analysis. Anyway, I think we're going to get the team swapped over and get ready to get into the next draft. But I'll reiterate what I said. What a great performance from Team Azeroth to start us off here on the Vainglory League Challenger Series Spring Split 1, because that was a dominant performance. Again, the alpha absolutely monstrous as well. And you said, it was a really solid performance from those carries. I mean, I've got to say, I was thoroughly impressed just watching it, and I was trying to keep up with all the action on the spectate. They definitely looked like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Came out swinging. I mean, right off the bat, level 1 team fight. They got the first blood right there, and I just kind of there's a little bit of stuttering around the 2 to 3 minute mark, but from then on, it was all Azeroth.
Looks like we're back into draft then, ladies and gentlemen. Team Azeroth are 1-0 up in this best of 3 series. Taka straight off ban by Final Gaming VG, and looks like they might try and take that Lance potentially first. You feel like that's where you'd go with the Taka ban. Petal, the ban again. Petal's been a super consistent ban over the last few months, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, Petal's still pretty effective. I think they toned her down pretty well, but still effective. I actually lost to a Petal last night that I thought it really shouldn't have happened. So Petal off the board. Taka, kind of surprised as Taka coming off like right away here, but no harm, no foul. It's gonna be a Dodgio first pick. Flex pick, definitely, and pretty safe here in the first side.
Yeah, absolutely. You can run that Adagio either as your carry or as the captain. I personally prefer to see it played as the carry, but Black Feather coming in and Rhyme. That's a very intriguing team composition from Final Gaming.
This is interesting, actually, because Rhyme has been seeing more and more popularity over the last few months, weeks, and a lot of people, I remember looking at some YouTube comments quite recently, and everyone saying, we want a Rhyme guy, because Rhyme's being seen in professional, we think it's going to be really big, and especially in Torona, you can see that it has some, good addition to this draft here, Humanist.
It does. It makes sense here. It can also work against Rhyme, like if you get into the late game, Rona has decent item progression, gets stacked up on a breaking point and just goes to town. Very interesting compositions on both sides. I like where things are at.
It's going to be a CP Kestrel, you imagine, as well, and that's something that we've seen a little bit of, especially in Europe. CP Kestrel is very sort of highly thought of. So I'm going to see that coming through with the Rona, and I'm looking forward to those big hitting Glimmer shots. They're not as big as they used to be, but they still hit pretty hard.
I actually don't know if it's going to be a Crystal Kestrel, because I have actually been seeing, at least in North America, the rise of Crystal Power Rona.
Oh, damn. Someone from my guild, right? Someone from my guild swears by Crystal Power Rona, but if it is, I will put my hat. I'll take my hat off to you, gentlemen. I'm going to take my hat off and my mic off, and remember to mute myself afterwards, because you're going through this next game.
Yeah, I try not to leak the strongest possible builds out to the masses, like when I'm here casting, but yeah, it's definitely incredibly strong. Looks like we will see CP Cassie though, so not really a surprise there. Still very strong. And the Weapon Rona, I do think Weapon Rona will excel this game because you're going to be forced to fight up in range close to Rhyme, and you can turn that around on him.
Yeah, not only Rhyme, but also Black Feather. Here comes Azeroth, aggressive.
Uh-oh, Shooter's boots are going to be on cooldown. They were not able to get that mid right there. Actually, Glimmer Shot's coming over the wall. And Killy Boss almost going down. Azeroth really flexing here early on. They want to go ahead and push Final Gaming out of their jungle. Let's see, can they get this back heal? Yeah, they can. They get the back train. Can't touch me, able to grab that one. It's going to be Rona going up to the lane, so it's Joke with that Book of Eulogies. And he should do just fine here, unless Adagio parks himself up there early.
Yeah, well, I mean, they know with the composition that came out from the side of Final Gaming that it's almost guaranteed to be a melee laner, so they go ahead, throw a melee laner up there as well, allow the Kestrel to have the free farm in the jungle. But of course, with the way Final Gaming played in game number 1, we don't know if there's really going to be a whole lot of jungle farming going on because they spent a lot of time free-manning the lane.
Yeah, dang. I didn't know if that was shots fired or just analysis bacon, but it's truth nonetheless. And that scares me when we talk about a guy like Ryan, who definitely benefits from levels.
Yeah, I really feel like they need to keep Nuhaha down in the jungle for a bit, just to get those levels farmed up. And right now, though, Azeroth.
Yeah, Yogel taking a lot of damage. Wibble's going to come down on top of him. And, well, pretty easy kill. Joke actually getting the first blood there. Killy Boss almost going down to those Glimmer shots. Almost got 2 back-to-back. 2 minutes in, Team Azeroth up on top again.
Azeroth taking a page out of the Final Gaming book with all 3 members up here in the lane, just trying to push in, put pressure down. I think they're just not too worried about the Rhyme in these early stages of the game, but this is where you want to go in and, harass the Rhyme. This is where you want to try and shut down the Rhyme and keep him from getting to a really dominant late game point.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. It could be tough, though. I mean, with Finn having his boots on cooldown, like, it's a really long time for him to rotate through. They don't go for it. I think it could, they could have maybe created some havoc just because Adagio wasn't like paired up with him the whole time, but it's gonna be okay. Can't touch me. Level 3 here going into the 3-minute mark, so doing good in that regard. And so Finn's gonna try and hold this lane for Rona to get back. They might lose 1 or 2 minions here. Shooter taking some damage as Yogel pokes that on point. Looks like it's gonna be okay. Joke's back up, able to get his last hits. And this is an annoying situation, Bacon, because Shooter, like, he wants to teleport home, but at the same time, he kind of needs to stay around just to back Joke up a little bit so he can actually farm anything.
Yeah, it needs to be able to try and protect the carry, but it needs to make sure that he doesn't fall as well. Nice job of avoiding that on point.
Yeah, I wish Can't Touch Me went a little bit further forward before kind of revealing yourself there. It's going to be okay. At least it deters the aggression up in the lane. And this game a little bit different than last one. Final Gaming actually able to get a little bit of their jungle early on. Rhyme doing pretty good. Level 4 will be level 5 here within a minute.
Yeah, and again, Can't Touch Me has just been farming up in their side of the jungle as well. So neither side being really super aggressive, which is a stark contrast to game number 1, at least thus far. But now here comes Nuhaha rotating up.
Nuhaha with the rotate up. I don't think you find a kill here. If anything, Rona can just like out of the fray. Can't Touch Me on the side, get some nice damage. Look at that damage! It's like 4 Glimmer shots and this Rhyme's dead. Rhyme can't get in range here. I do really like this. Joke, gotta be careful here. Take a pretty good. Oh, he's into the fray. They're actually gonna get the kill right there. Glimmer shot. He's gonna force Jogel out. Post Splitter comes through, a very nice chunk of damage. And it looks like Killy Boss down to the jungle. Probably goes down as well. Glimmer shot on the tail end of that. Team Azeroth up 3-0.
Crystal Power Kestrel just does so much damage early on with those Glimmer shots. Like, it's really, really tough to deal with that much burst coming out. As you can see there, Final Gaming is not able to deal with it as it's up 2 kills on the Kestrel. And now Jogel going to be on his own in the lane for a few more seconds, but Azeroth, oh no.
Oh, no, indeed. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's like seeing someone walk out in front of a car or something. You just like hold your breath and hope that somehow they don't get hit. One shot, it's gonna go through up in his lane. Joke's up here, he's gonna be in a 3v1, jumps out of the fray. And look at that, like they can't actually kill him even when they find him 3v1 like that. I mean, if you had a glaive in that situation, you have to burn him backwards, you probably find that kill, but there's nothing to just lock him down.
Yeah, it's that's going to be one of the difficulties of this Final Gaming side is they can't really be the ones to engage. They have a much more reactionary composition where, they want the enemies to be coming onto them first, and then they can lock them down once they get in range. Whereas The side of Azeroth, they have a lot more. They're going to be the ones that are able to dictate the fight a lot better, especially with this Kestrel.
And one of the reasons it feels, Bacon, I'd like to hear your opinion on this if we don't get into a fight, but it feels that Azeroth aren't as aggressive this game because they scale much better than they did last game. Like, this Rona, if you get into the late game and Rona has the ability to stack up on a breaking point, then it doesn't matter if Rhyme's on top of her because she's just getting stronger and stronger, and she eventually will, like, turn the tide in that damage battle. Nuaha, he's gonna be chunked, and a one-shot comes from downtown. Joke able to get that. He's gonna get the back strand here most likely as well. Looks like the Can't Touch Me comes through with the Glimmer shots. Crystal Sentry trying to get some. It looks like it probably gets turned around onto the Crystal Sentry. On point, gonna be off the mark, I think there. Jogo not able to actually catch him with that. Crystal Sentry still hanging around. It will go down. 2 lives remaining.
That's a very early Crystal Sentry kill, which can play a factor into this game as we go later on. But, going back to your point, actually, Joke is going to be doing a lot of damage, getting that blender running, taking out a lot of minions and some of Jogo's health. But to your point about the level of aggression or lack thereof that we're seeing from Azeroth, I think part of it is because they know that they're going to scale extremely well. I think the other part is that they know that they are going to be the ones dictating the fight. They know that Final Gaming can't really afford to try and go aggressive onto them yet, so they don't really have a need or desire to go aggressive themselves. Because why bother going aggressive if you can just sit there and farm? It's almost always a better option to just farm up than it is to go hunting for kills all the time.
Just wait till you see them face check a bush into 3 or whatever. I like it. Makes sense to me. Well, Final Gaming, they're gonna try and group up as 3 for a defense here. Glimmer shots come through. Both heroes and turret alike taking damage. Team Azeroth are in a great position, and you see, it's the active camo into the Forced Accord combo, Bacon. With the CP Kestrel, this could be devastating. I really hope that they actually land this. I want to see someone get Wombo comboed right now. They're really trying to set it up.
So devastating. They are looking for it, but I don't think they're going to be finding it just yet.
They'll find it this game, though.
Oh, definitely this game. A lot of players being thrown out by Killy Boss in order to make sure that they don't get caught in that trap.
Can't touch me. Look at the Glimmer shots coming through. Pretty good damage. Killy Boss sitting there, eating that damage. Can't touch me. Tries to get back. It's Black Feather actually finding the Kestrel. Very good job for Final Gaming to start this off. Scout Trap comes through to get the Adagio. Nuahaha wants to get himself out of here. Yodel probably will be able to. Joke jumps forward into the fray with a little bit of foe splitter action. They're up 6-1. Well, it was Final Gaming getting on the board. A little bit surprising.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really nice job by Jogel to get onto those backlines onto Kestrel, but they are going to pay for it. One shot. Really missing there. Jogel on a sliver of health will be able to get out of here, but overall the trade's still very much in favor of Azeroth.
Yeah, definitely. They will be able to find these kills on the Kestrel if she allows herself to be put into a situation like that. I think it was a little bit too aggressive in her positioning, and also she was low on energy. So that was one reason they didn't take the fight before, but that's going to be okay. Joke and Shooter trying to take the turret down. They will be able to get the tier 1 turret here. Final Gaming as 3, not able to find a kill in return or pretty much anything. So looks like a little rotation down into the jungle.
Just rotating on down, looking for a bit of farm, trying to just keep their items relevant and in competition with their opponents. But Azeroth have a pretty sizable lead. You look at the junglers, 55-37 on the CS there, 97-75 in the lane. And of course, the kill advantages as well. So just big advantages really across the board for the side of Azeroth.
The active camo down again. We're just waiting for these. There's the active camo going to go down again. They're going to be looking for this Forced Accord. They're going to get backwards. Activated! Right there. Killy Boss takes the brunt of the damage. It wasn't insane. Burst Judgment's going to come out. They're not going to be able to turn around. They lose 2. Double kill off the bat. Quibble. It's going to stun Jogel in place. Triple kill for your Rona there. 17 stacks, I think, hit on that breaking point, plus the lifesteal. I mean, Joke was never in danger at all.
Yeah, really none of them were really in much danger. A very quick damage on to Killy Boss. Wasn't really able to use those captain's items. The Fountain of the Renewal didn't get activated, so he was stunned and killed so quickly. And it's very unfortunate for the side of Final Gaming. They're going to lose out on their second turret as well. And a gold miner went down in the process there for Azeroth too. So big gold lead, it's about 7,000 gold in favor of Azeroth at the 11-minute mark.
So Can't Touch Me goes with a double shatter. And this is fun. It's a massive amount of damage. I like to see
All about that
Clockwork
first.
thrown into the build, so we'll see like if he does.
Clockwork would be pretty great later on. Looks like with that, and could very easily build into it from the battery, but most likely going to be seeing that turned into an Eve of Harvest just for a little bit extra sustain if they do manage to get onto the Kestrel. But look at the length of this stealth, the duration
It's so
of
good.
the active camo. You can actually stay in camo infinitely because the cooldown on the ability is less than the amount of time you have stealth. So look for Can't Touch Me to try and make some really manipulative plays.
Into the fray forward, Noaha taking a lot of damage. Rhymes trying to run away, and that's not what to do. Noaha chops down. And Final Gaming on the run, eating some glitter shots over the wall. Forced Cord's gonna pull the Adagio back. He's stunned up in the Quibble. Rona able to get the kill. That's 2 kills too easy, Bacon.
Absolutely. This third turret going to be the target. Jogel taking a little bit of damage from the glitter shot going through the turret. That turret will now fall 12 minutes into this game. And Azeroth looking like they're going to be making this a 2-0 sweep.
You know, like one of the things when you're if you have a Finn on your team, if you're playing Finn, one of the best things that you can have on the map is vision, right? Like, so if you see someone over the wall, you pull them over the wall. CP Kestrel, like you were talking about the length of duration that she can be stealth. Like she can lay an active camo down where they want to pull into the wombo combo, and she can just walk forward, get that vision off. So it's like it's a win-win-win for this draft.
Yeah, as long as your opponent doesn't have vision down themselves, but there's been a lot of vision control from Shooter just to make sure that there isn't vision from Final Gaming if they find a fight.
Oh my goodness, that foe splitter, so much damage. One shot's gonna come from very far away. It's off the mark, but Rhoda doesn't even care. He's gonna go ahead and start spinning to win right here, as old forecourt would say. First one's out. Killy Boss should be going down. That is an ace right here. Team Azeroth just absolutely slaying.
That was a 2v3 for the majority of that fight. Can't Touch Me, like you said, missed the one shot and then didn't join the battle until much later on into that skirmish, and they still get the ace. They take out the Crystal Sentry. That was the final life on that Sentry, so this jungle is blown wide open now for Azeroth. They have nothing to worry about in here, and well, as we approach the 14th minute, you have to assume that they're once again just going to set up wait for Kraken unless they can find a fight here.
Oh, it's really tough. Noaha, he's caught in a bad place. It's gonna be Rona. Go ahead and put that red mist right here. Can't Touch Me. He's rooted up in place. They find the kill that they need now. Can they find themselves into a better position? Turn around onto Joe. Joe, he's taking a lot of damage. Rona starting to get these breaking point stacks up. 20 breaking point stacks right now. Black Feather. No, really defensive. Ooh, that joke just starts spinning around. Gets the double kill. Killy Boss. It's gonna be the end of the fray. He's chunked down. Triple kill for your late game Rona. Joke just balling out of control, and this is why they really had no fear. I think the draft played a huge part in this game, Nick.
A fully stacked breaking point red mist, absolutely devastating, and they don't even need the Kraken. One shot's gonna come through to destroy one of those turrets, and they are now on to the Crystal.
Yep, this is your last hurrah. This is your last chance to throw, Azeroth, and it does not look like they will be. How exciting though here in spring season, early on in the Challenger series, to come out and put on a dominant show. I mean, this is the first game streamed of the season here, and Azeroth really making a name for themselves.
Yeah, not only making a name for themselves as a very strong team fighting oriented team, but also giving a lot of, showing quite a bit. They pulled out a lot of heroes that we may not normally consider or hadn't normally considered in previous patches, but just kind of showcasing your point earlier in the stream of how like almost anything is viable right now. They won with Rona, they won with Kestrel, the Finn. Game number 1, they had the Lyra and the Gwen and Alpha. Like that's a lot of different heroes to pull out in one series that aren't necessarily the typical meta heroes. and they just dominated with that.
You know, I don't know if Excoundrel's here. Excoundrel, though, one thing that, as I'm looking back at the item builds here, and I think you can make an argument either way, but maybe almost in hindsight, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking Adagio, Killyboss built this Crucible up, and against Finn, it makes sense. Like,
I think you're about to make the same point that I was about to make as well, Humanist. Contraption. You have to think about that versus the CP Kestrel.
And that would have been really good too, but I was actually thinking Ward Shreds. I think Ward Shreds would have been such a big item for Rhyme and Blackfeather to get them on top of targets, to get them in and out of these engagements.
I completely like that as well. I was thinking that I actually like the draft so much from Team Azeroth because it forces the captain player from Final Gaming to make so many decisions. Like, do I build the Crucible? Am I worried about blocking the Force Accord from my team, or do I build the contraption to start keeping tabs on the CP Kestrel across the map? Or do I build, I guess, some sort of Atlas Pauldrons to try and stop the breaking point stacks being built up by the Rona, even though it's not that effective against Rona. I think there's so many questions being thrown by that draft from Team Azeroth that you couldn't actually itemize to deal with every single threat that needed some form of itemization. You need the itemization versus Finn, because if you get caught by a forced accord, and that's it basically in some ways. You need the contraption to try and deal with CP Kestrel. It's her biggest counter as an item, right? If you play a CP Kestrel, most CP Kestrels will say, "Oh God, they've built a contraption, scout traps all over the map. I can't stealth anywhere."
Right.
And so
like Bacon's comment to me when I was like, well, Kestrel can stealth forward, look for these enemies that Finn can hook forward, and he's like, yeah, well, not if they have a scout trap down. So that kind of eliminates half of what they could do. Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
And I think we're going to talk about the next game, because that was a 2-0 sweep. That was very, very dominant from Team Azeroth. And coming up next, we're going to have Team Queso versus Insane Esports. And we're going to cut to a very, very short break. But when we're back, we will have this game on and ready and underway with Humanist and Bacon ready to take it over too. We'll be back very soon.
X& スルール X。
Hello?
Who is this?
It's fucking lit.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Vainglory League Challenger Series Split 1. My name is Scoundrel, I'm not muted, and I'm here with Humanist and Tasty Bacon, ready to take us into the next match. Now, for those of you that were keen-eyed, you noticed we might have changed the scheduled matchup about 3 times, because we have had some issues getting teams ready and sorted, but it seems like we're potentially going into a game between Team Trolls and Seawall Magma. There's a whole host of different things that we could have had, but this is the one that we seem to have settled on. Now, before I bring Humanist and Tasty Bacon back in, I just want to give you a little bit of an update about the giveaway that we are doing. There is 9,000 ice to give away weekly here at the VGL Challenger Series Split 1 and Split 2. And we're also giving away a grand giveaway of two Elgato HD 60Ss. So the really, really awesome capture card by Elgato. I use it myself. To capture my Vainglory when I'm streaming, doing my YouTube videos and stuff. So it's a fantastic, fantastic capture card. We're giving away 2 of those, and you can go to the giveaway on your screen there, vaingloryleague.com, and go and check out that link and enter into the giveaway for your chance to get this prize. It is a fantastic prize. 100% recommend entering into that because it is going to be fantastic. Now, as I said, we have the next match coming up, and it is actually not Team Queso versus Insane Esports. That was going to be the game. Unfortunately, Insane Esports, I don't think, managed to get into the lobby in time. So it's actually going to be Team Trolls versus Seawall Magma. Humanist and Tasty Bacon. How are you, gentlemen? Are you here? Are you ready for this next best of 3 series?
I am Humanist, and my mic is not muted. I thought that's how we were introducing ourselves today.
I think we should actually set up a club called Mike's Muted Anonymous, where I think every weekend it just has to be me coming in and saying, I forgot to unmute my microphone on the VGL Challenger Series stream. I'm sorry. I will repent for my sins.
It happens.
Yeah.
You know what I do, Scoundrel, though? It's even worse. Is I'll have the mics on, but we'll load into the game, and then I'll just leave like the draft overlay up on top of it or something.
Oh, no,
that's my thing.
Not the
It
draft
will be like 10
overlay,
minutes
Humanist. God. Not the draft
It'll be
overlay.
like 10 minutes in, and people will be like, oh, I can't see the game. And I'm like, oh.
I thought you meant the difference, because the difference between the draft overlay, I can't do that, because the difference in the draft overlay here compared to the in-game overlay is about 10 pixels, so...
No, yeah. Well, for other games, right? I don't cast other games. I only cast
You're only a Vainglory caster, Humanist. You've never done another game in your life, I know. You swear by Vainglory. Tasty Bacon.
I do some.
I didn't even know there were other games.
Event casting.
There are no other games. Actually, Vainglory is the only game, and it's the only game that you should be concerned about. And do you know what? The only Challenger Series you should be concerned about is the Vainglory League Challenger Series. And we're going into our next game. The 2 teams are in the lobby. I think we're ready to get this draft underway. Tasty Bacon, how was that last series for you? Because I've got to say, Team Azeroth looked dominant.
Well, it was good for me. Was it good for you? But
we
had it was a pretty dominating performance from Azeroth. Definitely a team to keep our eyes on going forward in this tournament. But now we've got ourselves a new series, 2 new teams, and both of them looking to make a name for themselves.
So Kestrel banned away here. We're not going to see that Kestrel come through for Seawall, and it's actually going to be Lyra banned away here by that team here. Lyra's been seeing a lot of bans recently, I'd say. She's been pretty high up there in terms of those captain bans. And Adagio still seeing a lot of prioritization by high-level teams.
Yep, it definitely is. I think the last series showed why Lyra was so strong. So many gap closers are used right now to get on top of the squishy carries, and Lyra just shuts that down while simultaneously enabling your team. And Lyra's one of the Adagio and Lyra. These are captain roamers who can delay a fountain a lot of times, and a lot of other roamers can't afford to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And they both have those heals built into their kit. Obviously, Lyra, I feel hers is a little bit stronger. It's not as instantaneous, but it does provide a bit more healing overall. But Gwen Arden going to be the selection here, quickly getting injured by Blackfeather and Fortress.
Oh, Fortress, baby. We have seen... It's funny because we've seen a lot of Fortress kind of creep back in a very aggressive, almost Storm Crown, sometimes Aftershock Fortress build that we sometimes see come through, designed specifically to try and blow up those carries. Humanist, have you seen much of that around in NA?
Not tons of it. I've seen the Fortress kind of sprinkled in, but I haven't seen it really played super effectively and consistently.
well, maybe this will be this team here showing you exactly how to play it, because I've seen it, you know, seen Team Trolls, they seem to be pretty confident. It could also be the CP Adagio. Obviously, we can't let that one slip, but yeah, I have seen a little bit of Carry Fortress slipping in with that Storm Crown, so keep your eyes on these builds. Again, it could just be the CP Adagio, but you know, you have to be aware that Fortress could flex into that position as well.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big changes with Fortress over the last couple of patches was just on hits, procs, you know, going off when he uses his A, as well as the damage being buffed up. I think it makes a pretty significant threat.
Absolutely. Now, gentlemen, we're about to head on to the Halcyon Fold, which means it's time to hand over to my wonderful casters. You've been hearing them for most of the day so far. Humanist and Tasty Bacon, take it away.
All right, thanks, Scoundrel. That's right, guys. I'm here with Tasty Bacon. We are, and we had these teams remixed on us who we were watching, but this is Team Trolls versus Seawall Magma. I'm just going to call them Magma and Trolls to keep it simple here. But Bacon getting into this one, I'd like to see the Fortress come out, and I know if Dingo is watching, he'd probably be a fan of it too.
Yeah, absolutely. I was in the last live championships we did in Europe where G2 was the team that was really big on the Fortress. I love seeing Fortress come out. I think there's a lot of utility to be brought out there, but we have a level 1 fight.
Yeah, and it looks like Trolls know exactly what they want to do, although their positioning wasn't perfect, and that's jump right onto Samuel. So they're trying to get Samuel out of here early on. Level 1 Samuel doesn't do too much with his Malice and Verdict. It's going to land onto Shervin. He's going to reposition himself using that move speed. Reddington's caught out. Very nice job here. Troll's going to get the first blood. They're going to be looking for more. The aggro up this back treant right here. It's actually Fortress rooted up on the backside. Kogri and Speedfighter doing what they can, but looks like it's going to be Amarezesh? Wait, how do we say in that one? Amareza? I'm just calling Amareza.
Amareza, I think, is correct.
Yeah, Amareza gets the back treant. It's the mid going over to a dodge. This is picture perfect start here, Bacon.
Yeah, absolutely what they wanted. Getting that first blood, getting a couple of minions stolen away from the opposing jungle, and getting back up into the lane in time to be able to farm up with your opponent. Pretty much picture perfect. Not many ways that could have gone better for the Team Trolls.
Oh, that feels really good, man. I'm not quite sure what Magma were really quite thinking there. Maybe they thought this Fortress was going to put himself into a bad position. The point is, though, I'm trying to make this, Samuel really comes alive at level 2. At level 1, he's really not that threatening.
Yeah, it's all about having the Drifting Dark and the Malice and Verdict combo, because without that, you don't have the AoE, you don't have the extra sustain, you don't have the extra damage that he really needs to be effective in a fight. So I really like the decision by Team Trolls to recognize that and say, okay, we feel like we have this advantage at level 1 because of the Samuel, and we're going to go and make something happen as a result.
Yeah, and I wasn't even looking at the starting items, but it was boots picked up for Speedfighter, as well as his contract, so he really wasn't offering too much besides the Vanguard early on there.
Well, that's really, Arden doesn't generally offer too much besides the Vanguard early on to begin with.
I mean, if he picks up, you know, a little extra health, or maybe picks up a little bit of shield, he can frontline a little bit better. It's not like it's a huge deal, but it's definitely, it allows him to be a little bit more threatening than having boots of speed there. Adagio taking a lot of damage, Drifting Darks out here. It's Kogri trying to get in position for that Malice and Verdict. Wynn will be able to find the kill, so a nice return kill going the way of Magma. And Shervin gets not really caught out, but they get some nice pop damage onto him.
Yeah, that's the Fortress, very susceptible to that pop damage. You know, doesn't have a whole lot of health himself, especially early on. So if they can get a little bit of poke onto the Fortress, they can really kind of play Team Troll or force Team Troll's hand a little bit, but Fortress going aggressive.
Yeah, it just jumps right onto Reddington. Reddington has to go ahead and back himself up. Very easy to get out of that, though. He's going to teleport out, has the lane in a good position. So early on, this is what you're going to see your laners do. If you get, you know, 2 big lane minions stacked up, you get a double wave stacked up, that's your opportunity to go ahead and teleport home, shot before your opponent can.
Yep, and that's exactly what they're looking to do. Get those shops in, get a little bit of advantage on the items, use that then small item advantage to continue building into a larger and larger lead. It's all about that snowball building up, going down the mountain, but hasn't really happened just yet, as both sides have done a pretty good job of being able to get those recalls in, buy up a couple of items, and try and just keep things relatively even. We do hit that 4-minute mark, the shops spawning and the sentries spawning as well.
How do you see the ideal team fight playing out for Magma here? I'm just trying to imagine with the Gwen, with the Arden, with the Samuel. Are they looking to like re-engage, or are they looking to start the engage themselves? They're waiting for Fortress to come at them, where they go ahead and turn it around.
It's a little bit of, I mean, they can kind of go either way. I feel like they're, for the side of Magma, they're going to be looking to more just poke and harass a bit with the Samuel, get those Malice and Verdicts out with some buckshots from the Gwen, and just get them a little bit low before trying to force Team Trolls to have to engage, because we've already seen that a little bit from Shervin, where he takes a little bit of damage and then just tries to force something to happen. And that's something that Magma is built to really capitalize on if they can find the opportunity.
Yeah, Shervin eats a Malice and Verdict. Basic attack out of Reddington, just down very low in health. Not very low, but down to 50% pretty quickly there. All three members from both teams are up in the lane. Currently, Shervin's going to jump forward onto Reddington. They get a lot of damage out on the Gwen, but she repositions Cobri in that Drifting Dark. The Malice and Verdict coming through onto Amareza. He was in a good position, but felt threatened, had to go ahead and back up off of that one, so nobody dies at the end of that engagement. But you can see they're definitely kind of feeling each other out.
Yeah, absolutely. Neither team wanting to, really go too committed into a fight, just in case they don't come out on top of it. But Irfan doing a lot of damage onto Reddington.
He's doing really good. Shervin jumps forward. That should be. Oh, is he going to burn down off of this? Gets the Vanguard. Should stay alive off the backside of this. But very dangerous right there. So Adagio, Fortress showing exactly what they can do there up in this lane. Shervin sitting right on the edge of the scout trap. There he realizes it's there as he eats the Verdict. Cobri comes up the lane to go ahead and try and hold this down until Gwen can make it back out here. We'll get a Vanguard. He has that Drifting Dark. He's probably going to wait for Gwen to get back up here before he goes to get too aggressive with that. Although, that's a situation where Samuel, even though it's 2 versus 3, if he drops a good Drifting Dark, he can still take that fight.
Yeah, I mean, the Drifting Dark, the positioning of it, and where, like, the angle that he decides to take can be big. But Shervin...
Yeah, Shervin right into the mustache bush. Doesn't like that. Fountain comes out for Magma. It's going to be a fountain answered on the other side by Team Trolls. Both teams poke back and forth, but nobody caught out completely. It's just a turret defense right now for Trolls. I think they're doing all right. Minion candies on both sides you see coming out here. So it's like, okay, Magmas want to apply pressure. Trolls just want to go ahead and stall the wave out. And Adagio, he needs to get a good gift to fire off to go ahead and regen up this energy right now. It's actually sitting pretty low.
Yeah, and that's going to be actually forcing Airfan to go back to base because of not really having an opportunity to get a good gift to fire down. I do really like the fact that the side of Team Trolls are playing fairly defensively and not really, they're kind of looking for skirmishes here and there, but they're not committing to these fights because they have unbelievable scaling on the Adagio and Black Feather. They both really want to have, usually 2 items under their belt before they're really looking for fights constantly. And so they're just farming up, looking to wait for those moments when they know that they'll be able to win a fight. But Reddington and the rest of Magma, I feel like they may need to force something a little bit sooner than that. Otherwise, it may just get too far into the item builds for Team Trolls for Magma to really be able to do much.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things right now I would say is Adagio doesn't have a reflex, so if you drop a gauntlet on him, he might be able to stand his ground and verse, but you could throw the Ace's High to stun him out of that. This feels like an opportunity right now. The Reddington's going to be jumped on here. Emma raises up. He's going to go Ruz defensive underneath the turret. It's looking dangerous. Attack of the Pack comes out. That's 2 for Trolls have been put to sleep. Gauntlet comes down, stunning out Amareza to the south side of this fight. Nobody from Magma actually getting in danger right here. Fountains used on both sides right now. Shervin jumps on to Cobri. Cobri back onto the side of the turret. Nelson Verdict to come out, just poke in return. But it's crazy, Bacon, and no one's actually going down here.
Yeah, just a lot of poking, a lot of defensive positioning in these fights. That sleep from Samuel just kind of stopped that fight dead in its tracks. It looked like it was going to be a really heavy engagement. It looked like we may have gotten more kills coming out, but once 2 members went to sleep, it just allowed the side of Magma to reposition, get themselves a little bit safer, and by the time they woke up, there really weren't any opportunities for a kill to go through for either team. But again, lots of use of these minion candies. This is something that you don't see too commonly, and it's mostly just to kind of keep this lane even in the middle of the map so that it doesn't get pushed into one turret or the other, so that they can just continue farming up. It's really smart play for when you're trying to just build up. Here we go.
Yeah, truth of the truth onto Reddington, but they're gonna have to back up immediately as Samuel did make a nice rotation up into the lane. Amareza eats the Malice and the Verdict. Cobri's damage is starting to look pretty significant here. Magma, they're in a nice position, holding that mustache push down. Speed Fighter gets in there with a little blood for blood action. Cobri, I think this is too far forward. They pull the trigger. They go in onto Cobri, but cancel it off. Amareza doesn't want it. Reddington isolated from his team. They go right onto it. Oblivion's gonna come out. It's off the mark. Malice hits. Verdict does too. I was actually surprised. Corrupt Genius comes through. There's the drifting dark. Oh, can he get on his Black Feather? Amareza's down. Attack of the Pack comes out on the backside. Efron is on to Reddington. Reddington goes down. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Bacon. I don't think anyone else goes down at the end of this fight.
Yeah, no, it should just be the 1-for-1. Almost an MVP minion for Amareza there, but the last Malice and Verdict from Cobra as he snuck around the side, picks up the kill. Nice job by Shervin to just pull out the Attack of the Pack, knowing that they could get at least one kill traded for them, and keep things, again, pretty dang even. You look at the gold here at 10.5 minutes, and it's less than 1,000 separating these two. It's not often we see gold differences that are this small.
I am feeling a bit of weakness right now in what Trolls have done as far as when they choose a target with Shervin on his fortress. It feels like they're hesitating, and maybe it's working out for them, okay, but really when they do decide to engage, like, they need to all go together to take a target out and make it a 3 versus 2 off the bat instantly, because fortress really doesn't do well with like kind of in and out of these fights. It's like choose a target, kill it.
Yeah, he's all in. It's all in with fortress, but right now up in the lane,
it's actually Reddington getting chopped down. Arfon trying to stand his ground. Garlic catches him right on the edge. Bacon blood for blood forward. The amount of Shervin keeps him alive. I think it's bloody later on that one with the Drifting Dark and Malice and Verdict almost taking them down. But Shervin, he's in deep. I'm looking for Amareza. Where's this Blackfeather at? On point from deep range. Blackfeather is not ready to fight. I mean, this is what's going on. You can tell Amareza is just not ready to fight.
yeah, only has the Serpent's Mask, so really doesn't have a whole lot of damage on this Blackfeather. Very likely going to be looking for a breaking point as the second item, but needs to have that breaking point. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, both of these carries, they want 2 items before they really commit to a fight. Need to be careful here, though, going for Goldmine.
Oh, who's going to get this Goldmine Bacon? The verse is going to come out. Adagio claims Shervin taking a lot of damage. He's probably going to go down, but so is Arden. Shervin gets out of this one. Nice on point there. Rose offensive forward. Amareza looking for a kill. And it's Cobri. He's sitting in that Drifting Dark. The Malice. The Verdict comes through. It's a 2-for-2 now. Reddington and Irfan. 1-on-1. Reddington gets the better of him. Gets the ace. And puts themselves up on top 5-4.
Gutsy call to go for that gold mine there. They do get the gold miner, but to stick around too long in that fight. The moment that Blackfeather went down, both Shervin and Airfan could have just left. They both had the ability. They were far enough away from the fight. They could have just turned around and left and made that just, one kill for the gold miner would have been 100% worth. Instead, they stick around. They try to get greedy on those kills. It costs them, and they end up getting aced, losing out on that turret. And all of a sudden, that goes from being a sequence of events that heavily favors Team Trolls to now being one that it gives a slight edge to the side of Magma.
Dang, man. Well, that's how close this competition is, guys. I mean, you could be ahead. You make a mistake. These opponents are going to punish you for it here in the Challenger Series. And it's exciting early on to see what these teams are doing. Reddington looked like he was maybe wanting to go on to Irfan, but Shervin's hanging out in the opposite mustache bush there, so it's probably a smart call that he didn't make the aggressive engage there. Speed Fighter and company hanging out as 3 Trolls down to the south. Irfan just went to the shop. I'm not sure what he picked up right there. Was that his broken myth?
I believe so, as it is now available for him as they're looking for a fight immediately.
Yeah, the Attack of the Pack comes out. They're not able to chase anyone down, so this is an ultimate wasted bacon. That's really not what you want.
I mean, it's a relatively short cooldown. It'll be back up again in a minute, so...
Okay, well, let me go make dinner. Like, I could legit make you a tasty dinner in the time before this Attack of the Pack comes back on.
It's a pretty quick dinner.
too. I'm very
That
skilled.
can make like rice, like minute rice in a minute.
There you go. All right, well,
That's not dinner though.
see, look at this. We talked for like 3 hours just now about this, and attack is still on up. Cobra gonna get a Vanguard into the jungle here. Still doing pretty good. Broken Myth completed. Frostburn. Samuel's in a great position right now. The damage is very, very respectable. One of the other things, like, trolls constantly have to worry about their positioning. Are they clumping up in these fights? These trolls jump onto Reddington, but a nice Vanguard from Speed Fighter able to get him out of there.
I'm really just waiting for Amareza to finish off that breaking point, and I really feel like that's going to be a big turning point in this match for Team Trolls.
Oh, they go hard on the Reddington. 2 versus 3. Are they going to commit to this one? It looks like Amareza finally trying to commit, but he can't find the kill. The gauntlet's down. It's going to be a nice, was that a crucible as they go ahead and walk through the wall, or just individual reflexes right there? They're able to get Speed Fighter, and now they're going for Cobra. That's the attack of the pack you want. That's the kill you want. And that's going to put them up 6-5, 15 minutes in.
Versus Judgment going to come out just to clear out those minions, get a little bit extra damage on the turret as well. Turret will go down, so very nice call there from Team Trolls. Super aggressive, but it pays off. I like it, and now they're immediately going for this Kraken.
Yeah, they're going to be going for Kraken right here, and Reddington starts to make his move down from the lane. Reddington, I'm ready to see some all-star plays. Reddington moves forward, buckshot into the bush. He's going to be turned around on. This is what Fortress lives for. Jumps right onto him. Everybody chunking him down. Reddington's going to get taken down. And this is the snowball you talked about, starting to build itself, starting to roll down the hill potentially here. But Cobra, he has area of effect damage. This is the kind of positioning we mentioned before. If opponents start to clump up, Samuel can take situations where it's 2 versus 3. I'm very surprised that they decided to just let this go here.
Yeah, well, I mean, after losing Reddington, it's just kind of risky for them to go in like that. I mean, there's not a whole lot that...
I mean, like, how much do you have to commit in that situation right there? Like, Malice and Verdict, that's range, dude. That's some serious range. I guess one of the problems, Speed Fighter didn't really have flares on him, so he couldn't check that brush. If they had flares, I bet they would have gone for that.
If they had flares, possibly, but still, it's super risky. I feel like you may just be better off just trying to hang back and deal with the Kraken after it's been taken. You're likely going to lose 1 turret, but you can try and limit the damage here.
All right, let's see what they can do. As they start to go ahead and build up some Broken Myth and breaking point stacks. Attack of the pack. Reddington is very far forward versus... And they get their win out of the situation. Speed Fighter on the backside. His gauntlet's down. It's not enough to cancel off the aggression. Cobra, he's out of the Drifting Dark. The Malice and Verdict, 3 good damage. Can they get this Black Feather? First is going to come out. You're able to get the Black Feather. Now Irfan still on the backside. Irfan gets a kill. Speed Fighter looking like he might be able to get the one-on-one, but they heal out of Adachi, who's going to self-buff. Try to turn this around. Shervin still alive. And of course, Kraken still mean, still angry, marching down this lane onto the Vein Crystal turret. Speed Fighter just really can't dish out any damage, at least to the heroes. He'll go ahead and start to work on Kraken. They're still alive, but Magma definitely behind.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for Magma. Reddington getting caught very far out and just completely taken out well before they were hoping, obviously, as they're going to almost lose out on this final turret as well. Nice job by the side of Team Trolls to stick around that little bit extra. Very low health, but knowing that it was just the Arden, they weren't in any real danger. Getting out of there before Reddington respawns. And just like that, they are now on the verge of taking this game number 1. See them getting ready for another fight. Not much vision for the side of Magma.
Drifting Dark's on cooldown, 10 seconds, Bacon. I don't like this. Cobra shouldn't like this. They've found the Samuel. They're going to boot forward and try to chase. Oblivian's going to come out. That's going to put the Wolf to sleep here. Shervin jumps forward, though. He's taking a lot of damage. Oh, no. Cobra, absolute disaster. With Drifting Dark down, he couldn't do anything. Now his Speed Fighter caught out. Absolute disaster. Not what they wanted at all. Fountain will only delay the inevitable here. He got an Atlas off trying to stall them out. But yeah, this is just Reddington against the world, and I feel like the world is going to win.
Yeah, Attack of the Pack is out. Reddington just doing what they can, but the turret is down. Now they're just going to turn their attention onto the Crystal. The valiant effort here down the stretch, but it is going to be game number 1 to Team Trolls.
Well, congratulations, Team Trolls, here in Game 1. Pretty impressive stuff. I think both teams showing for the majority of this game that they actually stacked up against each other pretty well. But here at the end, it was Team Trolls capitalizing on some small mistakes and just, time after time, they just put them significantly in the lead.
Absolutely. Well, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and that was a really, really close game for the most part. But finally, once Team Trolls figured out how to just pull in that aggression, like Humanist was saying, they needed to all go in. All needed to say, well, we're going to commit to a target, because I feel like they were separating their focus at the early game. Arden really good for kiting two ranged heroes that are good at kiting naturally anyway, backwards. And finally, once they found that aggression, once they found the black for the late game, the Fortress able to just lock onto one target, everybody committed. They seem to have found the recipe for success there, Humanist.
Yeah, I mean, they put it together. I think Bacon touched on it before, as well. Like, they were just waiting for Blackfeather to get up and running with his items. When that breaking point came online, he had 2 defensive items. There was really, they could do whatever they want. He jumps in there. He's got the A buff coming out of his fortress. He's got Adagio healing him up, buffing him up. It was pretty scary at the end.
We're pretty much ready to get into the next draft phase, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get that underway ASAP. I do believe we just need to make sure that Tasty Bacon and Humanist are in the chat, which I believe they are. Are you guys gentlemen in the lobby?
I am.
Indeed.
Bacon, I see a exclamation next to his name.
He's in there for me. He's in there for me. So as soon as we are ready, as soon as everyone's back in, we will make sure that we're underway. Now, what do you think needs to change up here in the next game, Tasty Bacon? Team Trolls looked like they had the edge. They definitely had a composition designed to go, all in onto that target and blow them up. What do you think they need to change up here? Any different bans you think you can go forward for in this draft phase?
I don't know if they really need to change a whole lot in the draft phase. I just feel like the side of Magma need to change their playstyle a little bit and just be a little bit more aggressive. They were being extremely passive, and it really allowed the side of Team Trolls to take advantage of that jump on one target and eliminate them sort of strategy. Whereas I feel like if Magma had just been a little bit more aggressive with their composition, tried to poke and harass a little bit more, I feel like they may have been able to have the advantage.
Well, we are into the draft phase now. Between these two teams, it is 1-0 up to Team Trolls right now. They are the ones in the lead. Looks like Lyra's getting thought of a ban here. Fortress maybe even potentially banned away, which would be one of the first times we've seen Fortress banned in a very long time, but I doubt that'll be the case here for Magma.
Yeah, I would be surprised to see the Fortress ban come through.
Or just no ban.
Like, they don't, why ban anything, right? Leave it all on the board. You got first pick.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's a valid strategy. I mean, I don't know whether that was an intentional strategy from them, but it is certainly a valid strategy in its own right, If you don't ban, you leave one more OP pick that you could pick for yourself. Just to see whether they were
If you
ready
don't
for
ban,
this.
nobody can criticize you for your ban.
Just waiting for the team. Cobra, yeah, it looks like it's just going to be the Adagio, so it's going to get locked in. The same thing coming round for them. They're going to return with what Team Trolls brought out on their first rotation, and then it's going to be a Celeste locked in here, followed by a potential Lyra pickup for Team Trolls. What do you make of this then, Humanist?
I like this. Is very strong. They have massive range right now. I'd like whoever they pick up for the jungle to have a little bit of durability, maybe a stun, something like a glaive that can get in there. Although like the weapon glaive's not really necessarily part of the meta, I think it would fit with what they want to achieve pretty well. And if they didn't pick up the Lyra, then you're gonna have a Dodgio Lyra on the other side, which would be super hard to deal with.
So, waiting for the final lock in here. It's going to be the Ringo, which I know Tasty Bacon had said that Ringo's seen a lot of priority over in North America in the series that he's been casting. And it's going to be a Rona lock-in, so you would imagine this would be the Captain Adagio coming through, something that we have seen a little bit of creeping back in. There was a point where Captain Adagio was almost unheard of because CP Adagio was just strictly better in all rights, but since the changes, since that sort of health stacking Captain Adagio coming through, looks like it could be a captain here for Magma. Going to be responded by a Cruel here, Tasty Bacon. These are two lineups. What do you make of them?
I'm super happy to see the Krull, as Krull is one of my favorite heroes in the game. A little bit of a shake-up, bringing out the Celeste as well. We haven't seen a whole lot of Celeste, not many CP lane mage carries, I mean, in general, the Celeste, the Scarf, have kind of really fallen out of favor, but seeing it come out here could definitely have some huge impact. I really like the Krull pick into really all 3 members of Magma. The Krull just excels against all 3 of them.
Absolutely, we're nearly onto the Halcyon Fold here. With this second game of the series, can Magma make their way back against Team Trolls and find this a 3rd game in the series? Or will it be Team Trolls just running over the bridge, crushing it, making a camp under it, and taking the series 2-0? Humanist and Bacon, take it away.
No, we can't let the Trolls win. We'll all lose if the Trolls win. No, I'm always rooting for a good Troll, guys. But we're into the game, as the Scoundrel said. I'm here with Tasty Bacon. Magma, down 1 game. I think they've got a pretty strong draft here. We'll have to see. Rona's definitely going to need a good start for them to do all right. Regarding the Celeste, I'm pretty happy to see Celeste. I actually think we were talking about like the range mages not having as much play, and I think people are actually sleeping on a lot of these picks right now. You see the aggression coming out here early. Shervin kind of zoning out Speed Fighter off to the west side of this fight. Reddington trying to figure out if he should get up the lane or hang out in the jungle, and then at the end of it, it's going to be Trolls going in, taking away the mid away from Magma here.
Yeah, really, again, this early game play, just taking advantage of the fact that they have this Krull who's able to deal with this Ancient Treant very well. A lot of early junglers, level 1, take a ton of damage off that Treant and can be very vulnerable to an attack, but obviously Krull has that extra life steal off those weakness stacks, and is just able to deal with it quite well.
Now, have you played Krull much on the new patch here? Well, into the fray. Actually, Irfan taking a lot of damage. The sigil from Shervin's there to get him out of danger. That was actually pretty sketchy. But back to the Krull question.
What was the Krull question? I'm sorry.
Have you played much
really
Krull in the new patch, right? Because he has some subtle changes that I think could make him a bit more effective here.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, like I said, Krull is one of my favorite heroes, so as soon as I saw those changes, I went to give him a try, and I really like the Krull. I think it's a very strong pick right now. I feel like once when we get deeper into the season, we're actually going to see Krull a fair bit, even in the Vainglory 8. So I think he's gotten a lot of much-needed love and should be able to make a pretty big impact.
Yeah, definitely. And his ult, the cooldown's not the shortest, but it's pretty easy to land. And if you're in communication with your Celeste, that's pretty easy stun to go ahead and combo up, and someone's going to be held in place till they burst it down to death.
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of stun duration there, and if you can get the boomerang shot especially, it just becomes even more devastating to deal with. So I really hope we get to see one of those really long boomerang throws coming out of Amareza, one of my favorite plays in the game.
Have you seen the Irfan taking some damage? Amareza's here, kind of prey used. Have you seen the Grumpjaw Krull combos?
Yes, I have.
That's so troll. That is the trollest thing. Oh,
you guys were actually talking about Grumpjaw a little bit before the stream started, even though Grumpjaw is unavailable for these teams to play in challengers. That was actually one of the things I was going to mention is I actually feel like Grumpjaw may work best as a captain, even though he's meant to be a jungler. I feel like his captain utility is actually quite strong. Yeah,
definitely. It's probably a bit of a flex if someone gets really good on the hero, but yeah, as far as right now, that's what it feels the same to me. Well, into this game though, Shervin harassing up in the lane, Reddington taking some basics out of Shervin. He'll put the sigil down, just sit there, hold his ground, heal up. Speed Fighter doing his best to try and return damage over to this Lyra, but Lyra's just a little bit better at this.
Yeah, absolutely, and is able to dish out a ton of damage from range. Of course, has the plenty of sustain with that sigil as well, but you see the Adagio still able to help keep himself and his laner topped up pretty effectively as well. So it's mostly just kind of a farming game at this point as the jungle intensifies.
And how do you feel about that? The fact that it's just a farming game?
I think while it's not as exciting to look at, it is in the best interest of both of these teams. Like, both sides want to just farm up, especially with it being a Crystal Ringo. Never been a huge fan of Crystal Ringo, even when it was super popular and super strong.
And I don't even understand. Like, I never understood that. Like, you are always so critical about the CP Ringo, and it's devastating.
I don't know what it is. It's just I just don't like it conceptually. Like, it could be the best pick and the most powerful dominant pick in the game. I still wouldn't like it just as a concept.
Okay. Fair enough. Amareza moving up into the lane. He's in this back mustache bush, waiting for an opponent to step forward here that he might decide to go on. He's going to move forward, wants the Adagio. Didn't know Rona was there. Rona with the foe splitter. Forces Celeste back. Amareza almost finding the damage they needed onto Adagio. Stun's going to come out. Nice core collapse there. And even though Irfan took a lot of damage, that Sigil just comes out, heals him right back up to about half. I'll wait for the cooldown, get another heal.
Yeah, and that's really what this is going to be all about, this laning phase. But right now, Marissa was thinking about charging in. Couldn't quite make contact to get that slow going. Instead, still going to stick around. Nope, never mind.
Lyra's such a punk! Oh, my God. You're such a... Nobody does what Lyra does better. You see Adagio's doing his best, but this is like, I don't know, this is like a Corvette, like, cosplaying as a Ferrari. It's just, like, you can do your best, but you're just not the same thing.
Well, the minion candies coming out from the side of Magma to help just keep this lane in check. And perhaps buy a little bit of time, as it is going to be the recall from Reddington. To get a couple of items just to help make this laning phase a little bit easier for him.
Well, Speed Fighter, I want to give him credit. I think he's doing a really good job. Bit of an engage down in the jungle, next to the shop there, but it's gonna be Rona. Just jumps out of the fray and gets out of that. No harm, no foul. Amareza has hit level 6, so we have From Hell's Heart available.
I was just gonna say, I was kind of surprised that Amareza didn't actually throw out the From Hell's Heart there, knowing that the rest of the team was rotating down. They had just seen the Ringo recall. May have had an opportunity to pick off a sneaky first blood there, but decided to hold on to that ultimate. Save it for up here in the lane, perhaps.
Nice flares coming out into the right bush, just constantly letting Magma know where this Kroll is. They don't want to be caught by surprise, and the only reason I can think that he didn't let that loose is that maybe he hadn't skilled it up right then and it was just a little late, or he just really wants to come kill this Ringo.
Well, we're sitting in the brush waiting.
He's gonna go hard onto Rona, even though they had the scout trap down. Amareza's on the backside. Speed Fighter maybe stepped forward a little bit too far forward. Two-man core collapse. Rona jumps into the fray, but they're able to take down Speed Fighter. Amareza diving for Reddington. Reddington standing his ground. A couple turret shots coming through. They have to get off of this. But first blood going the way of Trolls.
Nice job picking that one up. The Solar Storm doing huge work. Ooh.
Cobra got it. He'll just start spinning with that red mist right there. Trolls have to get out, but what a steal.
Nice job, just grab that treant. Cobra still going to be sticking around. He's looking for maybe a little bit of action there, but it's a 3-on-1 if they go for it. So Reza just gonna go send him a poke.
I like this guy. I wish he was playing as Samuel like he's playing as Rona this game. Like, you know, when it was 2 versus 3 on that Kraken and he had all his abilities available. I think he should have gone in there. You know, whatever. I'm not the player. It's just an opinion. But the way he's playing this Rona is very aggressive. I like it.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. I felt like Magma needed to be a little bit more aggressive than they were in game number 1. And in this matchup where both teams are looking to farm and kind of bring this game a little bit later, I feel like whichever side can start to bring out that aggression first will have a bit of an edge.
Oh, Hellfire Blue comes through. Eat a Solar Storm. Trolls turn it around. They landed, what was it, a core collapse and a Solar Storm and just on the basics? That was gnarly.
Yeah, Solar Storm doing a ton of damage. That's just with a Frostburn. Just wait until Airfan gets a few more items under their belt. If they go for that Broken Myth, get that stacked up, the Solar Storm is just going to do so much damage.
All right, Cobra trying to stand his ground. Speed Fighter's here as well. They're going for this Golden Liner. Who's going to get it? Bacon Kroll able to claim that as he activates that Spectre Smite right there. Irfan moves forward. He's trying to find the stun and the damage out. They've got it. Cobra's down. They're going to be looking for more Arcane Passage through. Almost trolling his teammates out right there, as a true troll Lyra should do. Sigil comes out, giving a little bit of move speed bonus. They're not going to be able to find anything else. They will be able to take away the mid region.
Mid-region Gen taken away, and up in the lane though, there's looking for a potential opportunity. Lots of damage with that core collapse onto Speed Fighter, and that's just gonna force them away and allow Airfan to get back into the lane and farm up these minions. These Helios, they're starting to really have some impact behind them, especially hitting level 8, getting it overdriven. The extra range on the Helios, this could be what Team Trolls need to really start breaking this game open.
And we'll see Solar Storms roasted and toasted. That's too easy. Irfan, Elegiggle, drop your foreheads. It's happening. The Solar Storms are landing. Celeste is back, baby. Oh man, I'm loving it. Cobra. Now, be careful. Amareza is here. From Hell's Heart will be available in about 10 seconds. He probably would have pulled the trigger if it was available right there. But look at this. They're dropping under the turret, getting some basics. They don't even care.
Yeah, they really don't seem to. They're just putting on pressure after pressure. And that, again, that Solar Storm just doing so much work. I really like this library actually putting down the sigil so that Airfan can get back to lane a little bit quicker. Nice teamwork there.
I really don't like the clockwork first. Cool collapse land. Speed Fighter eats a Helio. Another basic's gonna come out. Now, Irfan has to respect that Reddington's there. Amareza tries to get that from Hell's Heart that they can go ahead and turn onto the Ringo. It's not gonna land. So Troll's still in pole position here. But that last series event's not as dominant as they would have hoped. Although, onto this turret. Fiber is gonna come out, blocked off. Oh no, that is not what a CP Ringo wants to see. And it looks like, yep, Speed Fighter taking the majority of the damage here. Amareza wants him. He's gonna let out the burst. Solar Storm comes through. It actually was cancel that off. A core collapse. Cobra, you need to get yourself out of here. Trolls just taking everything.
Yeah, they are going to just continue pushing up onto the second turret. Reddington on this Crystal Ringo, when that ultimate's down, does not have really much effectiveness to stick around. They're just going to start putting some damage onto this next turret. Not enough to take it down, but they don't really have to worry about falling themselves. And I got to agree with you that the Clockwork first item completed for Reddington definitely leaves me scratching my head a little bit. It's so much is about the burst damage, the upfront massive chunk of damage that you're going to be doing with Ringo. Yeah, having the extra cooldown so that you can fire off that ultimate as often as possible is great, but if it's not doing significant damage, you're still only getting one ultimate off every team fight at this point in the game. So like, if you want that ultimate to be as effective as possible, it does get the Shatter Glass now, so that will definitely help. But I feel like that should have come out first before the clock.
Magma may be caught out here. Amareza, he's onto the Rona. Rona lets loose that red mist. Irfan's gonna throw out the Solar Storm. It's off the mark this time. Reddington will be able to live through this fight. Speed Fighter trying to make it back. Amareza's gonna dive underneath the turret. Getting pretty wild with it here. They're still holding Fountain, Crucible, and War Treads for Team Trolls. Well, if they get into a bad situation, they'll probably be able to get their way out here. Jump again onto the Rona. She's going to be stunned up. Jumps out of 3 to the backside. That is your Fountain. Core Collapse lands on the Speed Fighter. Now, Irfan, he's low on energy. This is kind of a problem here for Trolls. Amareza jumps in one more time. Takes turret aggro. Red Mist comes through. Starting to spin up. Getting some good damage. Breaking point stacking up. They're turning it around. Bacon, Magma are on to Trolls. Trolls on the run. Amareza, he's meant for running at you, not running away. This Troll's gonna go down. Double kill right here. They're looking for the triple kill. Arcane Passage to take a wild ride. And it's into the fray right here. Shervin, he will be able to get out of this one as Red Mist, coupled up with some basics, are gonna slow Cobra up just enough. But what a turnaround from Magma.
Yeah, massive turn. Speed for Tour maybe going down here to Shervin. Not quite. Rona from Cobra did massive work in that fight, getting in with those red mist. It's rather difficult for the Kroll to get away from the Rona once she decides to turn things around. Kroll's really good at engaging and sticking on a target, not so good at trying to run away from a target. That is exactly what we just saw there.
Adagio's not too good at running away either. Adagio getting lit up. Speed Fighter is taken down. Cobra standing his ground. Hellfire Brew's gonna come in, but it's blocked off. Cobra doesn't care though. Able to get one kill right here. Looking for Shervin. Another red mist coming through, but Kroll stacking up, getting a lot of damage. Reddington, where are you, dear Reddington? Reddington's there. He
Crystal
finds the
Mining.
kill onto Lyra. Now it's Amareza with Reddington one-on-one. Bacon, he's gonna rush forward. And it's this clockwork might be coming in useful here. This might be the thing that actually saves them. Amareza looking to get on top of this Ringo, but Ringo has the backup of his Crystal Sentry. Amareza thinking better of it.
Yeah, Marisa was trying to get that heroic perk built up in the brush, but thanks to the scout trap there, Marisa was able to throw another Achilles shot at him just to make sure that there was no continued chase. And that's one of the difficulties of the Kroll is, someone like Ringo does have a lot of utility to be able to run away from you. Twirling Silver move speed increase, the Achilles shot move speed decrease onto the Kroll, and just like that, there is no chase to be had. But this is all of a sudden turning into a very, very intriguing matchup.
Yeah, what happened? Magma I'm telling you, like it's so obvious when someone's playing one of their top hero picks, and you can tell right now Cobri knows what he is doing on this Rona.
Oh, absolutely. The Rona is doing huge work. Reddington gets the broken myth, but Cobri on his own a little bit.
Yeah, you need to go ahead and reposition right here, right now. He's stunned up. He's going to go ahead and let loose the red mist. Out of the fray over the wall there. Arcane Passage forward. They still want to go ahead and go on this Rona. She's starting to get some breaking point stacks up. Burst is going to come out. It's going to be blocked off, so nice job on that block. Solar Storm, they turned it onto Ringo. Ringo needs to reposition. He can't do it in time. Ringo taken down. 3 versus 2, but Cobri's back into it! With the end of the fray, and he's spinning! Cobri with a double kill. Cobri, he wants a triple kill. Give him that sweet triple kill. It won't be given, it'll be taken. Cobri, he's locked on Amareza like a heat-seeking missile. Bacon. And he can't do anything. Amareza tries to stand his ground, but this is the ace, and this is Magma right back in this game.
Great job by Team Trolls to turn that play onto the Ringo and get the first kill there. But they just are not able to deal with Cobri right now. And Cobri isn't even all that defensive. That's the craziest part of this. Like, there's no full defensive item on Cobri. It's all offense and just that sustain from the Serpent's Mask and the fortified health from the Red Mist are enough to keep Cobri alive. The positioning, the mobility of this Rona, like you said, Cobri very obviously comfortable with this Rona. Just narrowly avoided falling early on in that team fight, ends up rejoining the battle with about half health and just melting through the side of Team Trolls. Cobri, if they end up winning this game, absolutely MVP for Magma for game 2.
Absolutely agree with you on that one. He's playing phenomenally right now. I also want to give some credit to Fightur, who has like every time that he was engaged, like Cobri was fully engaged on or Cobri fully committed, he just throws the verse down right there. So they have to respect that verse of judgment. It's been crucibled off a couple times, but I like what this Adagio is doing.
Crucible is still a pretty good chunk of damage. The Kraken pushing in on this turret. We're gonna go for the team fight. Will they just settle for letting Kraken do her damage? Looks like they're gonna just settle. Kraken is gonna take down one turret. Never mind, here comes Hellfire Brew.
It's gonna get blocked off. Nice little chunk of damage, but credit to Earth on that defense. The Celeste really just zoned out Magma with nice Helios, threatening to go Supernova if they moved forward, and that's a lot of damage they had to respect.
Yeah, and as a result, they don't actually get that turret. So 500 gold over to the side of Team Trolls each. They're going to be happy for that without giving up that tier 3 turret in their lane. But this is still absolutely anyone's game. You look at the gold, it is still a small gold lead for Team Trolls as a result of that Kraken going over to them. But so the last couple fights have gone the way of Magma. Let's see if they can keep that up.
Well, this is touchy situations here. Trolls, Magma, just kind of making their very careful rotations here around the Kraken pit. I mean, it looks like Irfan has enough gold now for an infusion, a fresh infusion. I imagine he'll pick that up. There you go. Reddington's infusion will be timing out pretty soon. He has money to pick another one up. Cobri, his is going to be running out as well. They really wouldn't want to get into a fight with that timing out.
And Mareza also wants to be able to pick up another infusion there. But the one thing I really want to keep my eyes on is going to be that Null Wave Gauntlet on Shervin. If they can use that at the right time on the Speed Fighter, that can really have a massive impact on Cobri's ability to stay in a fight.
Yeah, it really could. That's a great call out, Bacon. Looks like we might see right now Speed Fightor taking a lot. He's silent. The Adagio silencer going on the ready the backside. Ringo, he needs to reposition himself here. Cobra stacking up the breaking point though. Amareza is deep on Reddington to the west side of this fight. Back to the east side. Irfan going toe-to-toe with Speed Fighter and Cobra. Shervin trying to heal up the Celeste, boosting into a better position. Cobra spinning, eats the Solar Storm, but Kroll is back in this fight. Kroll starting to get a couple stacks right here, looking to activate the Spectral Smite. Not before Cobra can find another kill. It's a 2-for-2 trade at the end of it. If Speed Fightor can get out of this one, it's going to be a huge win, but Amareza looks like he wants it. Not going to commit to it, though.
Oh, Amareza, though, gonna start up the Kraken. Kroll is absolutely able to do the solo with the Storm Crown, is just melting through this Kraken relatively quickly for being a solo taker, and is still healing up all the while. Speed Fightor could come and try and steal this, though. This is so risky. Whoever gets this Kraken could be seeing a massive advantage. Fightor is going to go in there, make their presence known versus Judgment. Cancel.
Oh, get wrecked! Get wrecked! Oh, Amareza, my God! Oh, the plays. Absolutely. He'll take a Hellfire Brew for the raid, for the raid. Take a Hellfire Brew for the road. Drink that one up as Kraken's going to be marching the opposite way here. A nice steal there. A nice stun to go ahead and cancel off that burst. Well played.
A good amount of damage done to Kraken before she even gets into the lane, but now that she's in the lane, can Team Trolls make something happen here with this push?
Yeah, it looks like they want to jump forward, but respecting Magma after the last fight, as they dove on that, didn't work out too well. Lyra taking a lot of damage. You got to be careful there. Kraken starting to get on low health. Shervin's going to go ahead and heal himself up, give his team a little speed boost. Let's see if they jump in off the backside of this. Cobra with the red mist, getting a little damage done to his opponents. Kraken as well. They'll have to jump out of the fray there. Helio's starting to stack up 9 stacks on that broken myth. They're going to have to respect the Celeste. I don't know. You can't be caught out here right now. Helio's coming through. Solar Storm. Cobra jumped right into that. And I had a game the other day where actually I was playing in Rona. A Solar Storm came through, like a leveled up Solar Storm, and I jumped horizontally right as it was coming, and I ate like every star in the thing, and just like I got like 100 to 0.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was potential for a massive fight there as they were pushing in, but Team Trolls decide not to pull the trigger. I really want to see Airfan just throw that Solar Storm as soon as they get up to full stacks on the Broken Myth and just try and make something happen, but they do get some solid work done with that Kraken. They take out the tier 3 turret along the way, so that is definitely good news for the side of Team Trolls. This game continues to remain extremely close. Magma setting up a party brush, but
They don't know where they are, Bacon.
neither side knows where the other is. They're gonna flare them out. They get spotted there, but this could be a fight. Teams on opposite sides.
Uh-oh. Right Bulwark down. It's going to stop that end of the fray right there. Cobra lets off that red mister onto Amareza. Celeste's going to take the Arcane Passage forward. They got the Ringo. Same story as always here, but Cobra spinning up on the backside. Ringo needs to stay alive. Ringo will go down. Now it's Cobra over here with Speed Fightor. Can they stay alive? Stay together. He needs a heal. He's spinning. Getting the breaking point stacks. It's not enough. Celeste finds 1 kill. She's going to be looking for another right here. And on the end of it, looks like this is going to be an ace. As Trolls take 3, lose none.
Ace 23 minutes into this game without any lane turrets left should very well be the game for Team Trolls. And a really exciting matchup. Could have gone either way, but Team Trolls, they get the fight when it matters most, and they're going to be taking the crystal.
Yeah, this is going to be GG. Congratulations, Team Impressive stuff here, I gotta say. Definitely Magma putting things together, but they weren't able to consistently do it every fight. That's what you need to do if you want to win games. I think Reddington looked like he needed a little more practice on the CP Ringo to be at the level of comfort that maybe Cobra looked on this weapon Rona. Not like it's his fault necessarily, but he was having a hard time having an impact.
Yeah, really definitely did have a difficult time getting a whole lot of damage out there. I mean, a lot of these Hellfire Brews were getting blocked, and a Hellfire Brew that gets blocked, yeah, it still does a pretty decent chunk of damage, but not getting that extra burning damage is really kind of painful for a
No,
CP
I mean, you're
Ringo.
losing the game. Like if your Hellfire, if you go CP Ringo, your Hellfire Brews are getting blocked. You're losing the game. I will, like I don't think there's almost no other way that you can look at that.
Guys, that's it. Team Trolls, they take it 0-2 or 2-0 rather over their counterparts of Team Magma. Very, very dominant stuff from them. Looked like it was kind of going back, that Rona coming through, quite well for Magma that game. And I think a lot of it was a little bit of overconfidence from Team Trolls. I mean, they had that range of Celeste, especially when you've got the 5 points in Heliogenesis, especially with the Frostburn. You should never really be getting into range of that into the fray from the Rona. But Rona found the gaps and the opportunities and they made it work for them. But again, that CP Ringo seemed to be letting the side down. I was totally questioning the clockwork first like you were. I was maybe theorizing that because of the energy reduction, the base energy reduction for Ringo in the last patch, and the fact that Achilles shot, which you max first on CP Ringo, that energy had gone up. So I was wondering maybe it was to do with energy reasons, but you could probably just get the Void Battery and sit on it, right? So I don't really know why the clockwork first came out there. I would have much preferred to see some CP and then getting the clockwork afterwards. But yeah, I mean, looks like Team Trolls totally were in command towards the end of that game and go away 2-0 over this entire series.
Yeah, it was good stuff. I know it, like I've never seen it become the common build, but I'm sticking with like how I feel. I think that Storm Crown is actually a very good pickup for CP Ringo. Like it shores up all of his weaknesses, and then you can just build Shatterglass with the Storm Crown, like split building. And by the time those two things are completed, you have like essentially what you need your clockwork for. But that can come in as like a third item in your build. And I don't even know if even then like a fourth item, but it's tough to make work. He wasn't able to find success, but they did good things, right? So they should definitely like look to the good things they did and try to build on that.
Yeah, I think it works really well on the CP Ringo.
Not picking it?
A Sorrow Blade, Breaking Point.
Oh, tasty bacon, never change. We are going to cut to a very, very short 5-minute break. Remember, when we come back, we've got another series. I believe it's going to be between a team called Mean Kitties and TH and Envy. Maybe award for the best team name in the VGL Challenger Series Spring Split to Mean Kitties. We'll be back after a very, very short break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Vainglory League Challenger Series, Split 1. My name is Scoundrel, and I am joined by, hopefully, Humanist and Tasty Bacon, if they are ready for this next match, because we are going into a game between Meme Kitties, potentially the best named Vainglory team in the Challenger Series, and THN Envy. So it's going to be a pretty awesome game coming away. Another best of 3 to get our third game of the night underway. Only one more game and series left after this, and then we'll be seeing you guys tomorrow evening. Humanist, actually I have noticed that one of the members, I believe, of Mean Kitties is from my guild. You know, small world.
Biased host.
Don't win, Mean Kitties. No, I can't give my opinion because Fee is Fee actually helps me with my videos with some of the item explanation stuff. She's actually a really good player with a lot of solid background information for captains and things like that. So
who was it?
Fee. I always say her name is Physics because I'm English, but it's apparently Fee6, so I've got to say it that way.
Okay. Mean Kitties, that's a good name. But I think if it was Meme Kitties, it would be better.
Meme Kitties. You'd like them to be called Meme Kitties.
Yes.
I actually agree with you. If it was Meme Kitties, I'd almost be completely biased. But I have to be completely unbiased as we are about to head into the draft phase. Hopefully, let our wonderful man Blueberries knows that we're ready to go. And Tasty Bacon, he's back. He's had his break, probably cooked some bacon. Dash lecker specht. Are you ready?
I wish I could cook bacon that quickly. That would be amazing.
You gotta learn, man. I'm telling you, I could have cooked you bacon during Torturous cooldown.
Now you're still going on about that. I love you guys. Right, we're going to be going into this next draft phase. Waiting for the ban here between Lyra and Adagio right now seems to be the juggling, and it's going to be Adagio taken off the fold by the Mean Kitties. THM will respond with the other side of the coin. Both teams probably thinking about the same bans here. Lyra now off the table, means that first pick is now up and available for the Mean Kitties. Got a lot of stuff to prioritize here, and they're going to take the Glaive. Humanist, you were talking about it, and Glaive comes through.
It's too strong. It's like the cooldown glaive it's just too strong right now. If he doesn't get shut down, if your team's not getting snowballed against, like your core will be locked down constantly come late game.
Going to be a response here with the Kestrel coming through and the Arden. Now, we have seen both Weapon Power and Crystal Power Kestrel in professional scene recently, but Europe tends to gravitate towards that Crystal Power Kestrel. And it looks like they're going to lock that in with the Arda. We don't know whether it's Crystal Power or Weapon Power yet, but that's generally where Europe often tends to gravitate towards. Alpha going to be the response here by Mean Kitties, and that's a pretty solid response coming up from them. But, you know, this is an all-in composition, it seems like, and it looks like Ringo's... Whoa, this could even be the Rome Glaive.
Yeah. Not bad. I mean, he's so good in that kind of cooldown build that it's the same reason he would be good in a roam position. You also can grab him first and you can flex it into your draft, which makes it very strong as a pick.
Now, unless we're seeing Weapon Power Rhyme, which I doubt, it looks like it will be the Weapon Power Kestrel coming through here for THN Envy. And now we have our competitions locked in. Gentlemen, this is where I hand it over to you and you guys can talk about them.
Thanks very much, Scoundrel. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for this matchup. This is Mean Kitties versus THN Envy, I believe. And yeah, with Tasty Bacon here, this should be a pretty good matchup. I'm excited to see what these guys can do. Also, you know, always excited to see Glaive in that Rome captain position.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, excited to see Glaive just on the fold in general. Like you said, it's a very dominant pick that can completely control the pace of a game. But it's also a pick that can be very volatile in the fact that if you don't get the picks that you're looking for early, you can kind of just end up sort of floundering about a bit with the Glaive, and you know, going for those afterburns and just ending up you in a disadvantageous position. So there's a lot of back and forth involved with this Glaive. We'll see how it works out for him here. As will be Ringo versus Kestrel to start things off in the lane.
See, if I was able to make the shot call for first rotation on this team, as the afterburn comes through, I am free low, taking a lot of damage here. Good chance he goes down. 1-2 more basics from Ringo. That's going to be the kill. I was thinking, though, like, it would have made sense for THN to go aggressive into Alpha's jungle early, because this Alpha really doesn't bring much to the table. And you have to respect Rhyme level 1, especially with an Arden behind him.
Yeah, not only that, but you kind of have an idea that the Glaive is going to be very likely looking to get into the lane as quickly as possible. So you just have your laner play very safe, or just bring your laner on that rotation with you, and you completely negate that massive early game advantage that the Glaive has, and you can help to shut down that Alpha, get the Rhyme rolling. There's a lot of advantages that would have come from that early aggression.
Yeah, no, I think you broke it down pretty well there. But with that said, it means that Alpha's first rotation or two are going to be pretty much free of charge, and Mr. Faker's got to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Is getting that early kill, that first blood bonus does help the Ringo, and of course, like you said, keeps the jungle pretty safe for Mr. Faker on this Alpha, who really wants to get that first item, that aftershock, most likely going to be the pickup there. Alpha just comes online so quickly then.
I had my eyes up in lane, and Dorcas just like throws Vanguard the moment he's gonna go. It's actually Dorcas is gonna be afterburned backwards. Blade taking a lot of damage. He's the first one to go down, trading 1 for 1 here. Mr. Faker is actually using his boost to get out of this one as Inkefon sticks around. Just getting some attacks off onto Israel 137 here. Rhyme with a nice rotation up into the lane and a nice return kill.
Yeah, able to go 1 for 1 there. Always a good thing when you're trading out, especially if you lose your captain, but pick up the kill onto one of the opposing captain right back. You just keep things even, and the other side really getting a big advantage or disadvantage as a result. But NK fan,
yeah, I am free low once more. It feels like just about a half second behind what actually needed to, like, if he had moved aggressively on Ringo, got that Vanguard, Ringo's dead right now. But he took a step back as Dorcas came up into lane, so they don't take full advantage of that. It's not the end of the world, but Inkefon taking a lot of damage here. Dorcas flexing up on him. Israel's made his way up, but as a Ryan, if someone's not just standing still early on here, it's pretty hard to catch them out.
Yeah, and it's tough to just catch someone like Kestrel out in general. It's tough to catch a glaive, especially with there's even the Ringo when there's a glaive on your team. Like a lot of the captains for this game are so focused on just protecting their carries. You know, Glaive's going to be looking to obviously set up kills with the afterburn, but can also defend his carries with the afterburn. Obviously, you have the Vanguard from the Arden really helps to keep people alive. So lots of potential, aggression and defense from both of these two picks.
It's kind of crazy to me that like both Kestrel and Rhyme came out this game because the Rhyme, if you're thinking like maybe this is a jungle glaive, okay, well maybe Rhyme's gonna stack up there, but when glaive goes to the roam position, suddenly like he does very well against Rhyme because he's just repositioning off a target. And I always thought that glaive actually is one of the best when you're dealing with Kestrel because he can get over past that active camo and into the backline super fast.
Yeah, and getting into the backlines, if you can just get past the active camo, one of the concerns is if you use that afterburn and then end up, or really any of their ability to dive in and then get stuck in that active camo.
Yeah, they're forcing this fight right here. I don't really like it. Physics, surprised it didn't actually go down. I'd really like to see them wait for level 6 on this Alpha, which it seems they're kind of forcing here, this position. And Alpha really, it'd be nice to see Alpha just back to the jungle and get that level 6 and come back.
Very close to level 6, but they're just going to be going in anyway.
And they're going in. NK taking a lot of damage. Valkyrie comes out, and that's picks up the kill on to this glaive as well, and Mr. Faker on the retreat. This is why they shouldn't have tried to take that fight.
The humanistic prophet doesn't like the fight and immediately gets to show
it just
them
feels
why.
Bad, right? And like I'm not gonna say that I misread a lot of fights, right? And it's also I think something like when you're sitting here watching a game, it's much different than reacting when you're in the game. So not to say like I would have even made the right call there, but you watch enough of these games and you start to realize like when you're in a bad situation, and maybe that's something that me and Kitties are going to be learning here early on in the Challenger series.
Yeah, and one of the things I always say is it's really easy for us to say when we have this bird's eye view over the entire fold and all, but it's still like that. I completely agree with you. It felt like a time where they really shouldn't have been trying to force that fight to happen, and they go for it and end up paying.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they're not in too bad of a position right now. They're down a little bit in net worth. NK Fun's getting closer to his level 6, so they'll have the Hellfire Brew. Glaive's level progression is not too bad, and they do have Termination Protocol available on the Alpha now. He's getting closer to that Aftershock. We look on the other side. I am free low, doing all right. 69 last hits here. 6 minutes in, pretty good. Dorka's taking a lot of damage, but physics. It's so hard for me not to say physics. Physics able to afterburn out of that one. Mr. Faker isolated from his team, dips to the safety of his own jungle. Plus he has ultimate available. You can see THN doing a really good job here. Mr. Faker able to get that mid. Jumps onto the Rhyme. NK Fon, no, that's not the position you wanted in. No, Ringo, get into the backlines quickly. Physics goes down as he tried to peel for his Ringo right there. And that's a tough situation. One basic, Glimmer's gonna miss. Another basic, 2. This is a weapon, Kestrel, and that's a kill.
Yeah, the Glimmer shot's not quite as important with the weapon Kestrel. Those basic attacks still able to do a lot of damage. Fountain gonna come out just to top them up. And this is now an opportunity for them to just really put pressure onto this turret with just Mr. Faker here to defend.
Yeah, Mr. Faker, though, he could find a kill. He really could find a kill. They don't have Fountain available. He's not going to go for it, and then there's like no harm that he didn't go on that. But I think Rhyme making the smart decision to get out of there, where his team looked like they wanted to apply a little more pressure.
Yeah, and huge credit to THN Envy capitalizing on these mistakes. Just a slight positional error from NK Fan, but immediately THN Envy just jumped right onto him, got that quick kill, and then set up the ability to then push in a lot of damage onto that turret, taking it down to about half. Now they can just kind of revisit and just keep this pressure up.
Yeah, it looks like NK Fawn probably the target if this Rhyme's able to come forward a little bit more, but yeah, with the afterburn coming out, you got to respect that out of the glaive. They don't force it. I really like this, and just want to get again point out the farm for I'm Free Low. Like he's farming incredibly well this game.
Yeah, doing a really good job of keeping that CS numbers up. You compare it to his opposing laner, 89 to 63. It's definitely a sizable advantage. They're looking to take advantage of that numbers advantage.
Yeah, Mr. Faker trying to get himself to the backside of this. Gauntlet comes down, trapping Phoenix in there. Fountain's gonna come out, doesn't delay it more than a half second. And Mean Kitties, they're in a tough position right here. Israel boots forward. You can tell Rhyme wants some. Arden actually taking that kill there. Mr. Faker, I don't think has used Termination Protocol yet this game, and if it's popped off like that, oh no, you're tilting me. Don't tilt me while I'm casting. Mr. Faker, you're gonna go ahead and get yourself out of here. Turns around now. Now where's your termination? No, you don't have it. You don't have your Termination Protocol. Oh, that's what happened.
It's one of those ultimates that, you know, even if you get dropped, like, you don't have the access to your ultimate when you reboot. So when you're low like that, you might as well just use it. Even if you use it to get yourself out to safety, just use it. Like, they could have saved him there if he just pops that ultimate. You maybe gets a little bit of damage on, dissuades them a little bit from getting onto that turret. You never know what's going to happen. Instead, goes down without it getting used, and then just ends up falling anyway. So really a big mistake there from Mr. Faker, and Mean Kitty's definitely just struggling right now.
You know, it's because people are like, why is this caster tilting? And it's because my heart goes into these games. Like, I tried to, like, envision as if I'm on one of these teams or one of these players to, like, channel that energy that's coming through. And in that moment, it just felt like the energy was saying, Mr. Faker, get aggressive. Dorcas moves forward, though. Frontlining for his team. I'm Friolo backing him up right there. Rhyme in a pretty good position. Physics gonna jump forward. It's a nice Vanguard. They immediately turn it around. Same story. Different fight, same story. Immediately, the Glaive has to fountain for himself right at the end and still goes down.
Yeah, not what the side of Mean Kitties were looking for. Not what they were hoping to have happen. They are just kind of getting pushed around now. Envy taking really whatever they want. They get the gold miner. They take a couple jungle camps. They've got pretty much complete vision control. Really nice vision being put down by Dorcas, as there's see kind of 2 lines of scout traps around the middle of the map.
Yeah, really nice. Well, that's a nice afterburn back, but that's Rhyme, and Rhyme is right on top of the Ringo. Ringo has to reposition. Mr. Faker probably in a good position here to finally get an ult off, but so he doesn't have anything to get on top of a target. He's gonna go down while rebooting. Is an absolute disaster.
Whoa.
NK Fawn, one more basic, he would have gone down. One shot, one miss. Physics trying to get back into a safer position. I'm Frilo booted forward under the active camo. He's gonna get a kill. Oh, I love this player.
Wave aggression is always so much fun to watch. Now gonna just get out from underneath that turret once again. They can just push in. They have the minions here. They're gonna be able to take down this turret very quickly. THN Envy, they are just on a roll right now.
Yeah. As Bacon often says, on a tear. Mr. Faker, he's kind of in a bad situation. Does not have ultimate ready. That's going to be a dead alpha. NK Fun, well, you need the devs to create new abilities for you to try and live here. This is a tough situation. I can't believe, actually, with those boots, he's able to get out. Yes, those tier 3 boots. They should be able to round him up here, so he's going to buy a bunch of time. The whole time, Kestrel just continues to farm. One shot! And that's why she didn't chase.
Oof, this is just so frustrating to play against if you're the side of Mean Kitties. Like, once you get this far back, they're going to try and get onto him, but oh my goodness, I am Freelo avoiding disaster there.
Oh, you almost got it. Mr. Faker, though, get yourself a kill. Eat a delicious Kestrel. Do it. Physics is forward. I'm gonna have to bring Israel backwards now. Physics is on the run. Prime directive. Off target. Oof. Yeah, that says about all of it.
Again, the frustration has to be setting in for the side of Mean Kitties in this first game. It's just everything they're trying just hasn't been able to connect. They had a prime opportunity to get a kill onto I'm Freelo. It would have been a big shutdown boost of gold, and just not able to make it happen. One shot, one kill does not connect, but they're still able to just keep pushing into these minions. You know, you've got Rhyme continuing to farm up the jungle, has Broken Myth Eve of Harvest, so he's going to be even more difficult to kill, and he has yet to fall this game, so that's not going to bode well for Mean Kitties.
Like every single thing we're calling out just is like disaster for Mean Kitties. Oh, this is a tough situation to be in here. I don't even like the Ringo build on top of the fact that he's underfarmed. Active Cam is going to be popped off and Glaive gets wrecked. Mr. Faker is going to try and get backwards, activating boots right here. He's able to get out of that one, not going to die, but oh my god, Glaive was like 3-shot.
Yeah, those Glimmer shots doing a ton of damage with a crit added in to the mix. And now here comes THN Envy just pushing onto this third turret. There's just nothing Mean Kitties can do to stop this.
Yeah, I mean, we need to think of a different word than push. That was just like destroying the turret.
Shove.
Just oh my god, just deleting it. Mr. Faker jumps in. This is the aggression that I wish. Doing it right now. Mr. Faker jumps in. Okay, termination protocol going to be activated. I am free low and nice active camo. He's not able to get on target. Mr. Faker will go down. Can't blame him necessarily for that one. He was trying. Physics will go down as well. And NK Fun, one more attack. How about just a one-shot for 939 damage to his face for the ace right there. 17-2, 14 and a half minutes in.
And they're just going to look to try and take down these turrets and end the game. They've got 10 seconds before the respawns come through. That is plenty of time. THN Envy, no Kraken needed as we don't even hit the 15-minute mark before they are going to destroy this crystal and take a very decisive game number 1.
Wow. Decisive indeed. This was impressive stuff. I thought the draft was not like the strongest necessarily, but the way they played it, they played to the strengths. They outplayed their opponents, and yeah, I'm impressed.
Gentlemen, that was probably the most dominant display that we've seen thus far in the split. Although we are early on, that record can be broken. Certainly looked good there for THN Envy, who, with that Rhyme, completely tore apart this Roam Glaive. And I tell you what, I think the problems crept in very early on for Mean Kitties. Again, like you said, the Ringo build, a little bit all over the place. The breaking point first, didn't finish the Sorrow Blade, missed that big spike. You had the Glaive, went for the Stormguard banner, which makes a lot of sense, obviously, if you want to sort of press towards a Storm Crown, I suppose, early on. But then delayed the Fountain by huge amounts. So, you know, Fee getting that Fountain about two and a bit minutes later than her opposition meant that they weren't able to team fight, you know, against this Rhyme. They didn't really have the sustain necessary to deal with him. And then you had those two melees into Rhyme. And, you know, we talk about Alpha being better into Rhyme in later game because you could potentially blow him up once you've got those full stacks of your core charge or the core overload. But, I mean, he was just too far ahead and Alpha was just too far behind. And if you've got a behind Alpha against an ahead Rhyme, that is just super dominant for the Alpha. Sorry, for the Rhyme.
Yeah, it was insane. And I mean, even a Rhyme that's not like crazy farms can go toe to toe with the Alpha pretty well. He can like stand his ground, but he was farmed. He had the level. He had everything.
I mean, he looked very good that game.
One interesting thing I do want to point out is as soon as we got back to the lobby, one of the members of Mean Kitties had said that they had actually mispicked during the draft, but obviously, you know, had to go with it because it was just a mistap. But so that could be something interesting to keep our eyes on, if that was maybe something they didn't actually mean to pick in that game, if they actually wanted to carry Glaive but had picked like
I mean, if they wanted to
instead.
carry Glaive, they picked the Glaive, right? So you could have just then picked. I mean, I suppose. I mean,
I'm saying, like, if they didn't mean to pick Alpha or something.
I mean,
it doesn't matter. This is competition.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake, it's the same thing as going in 1 versus 3. It's a mistake.
That's what I'm saying. Is like they still played with it as because it was a user error. It wasn't like an issue with the game. So that's why they had to maybe change up what they were going to do. But that's just something to keep in mind, that maybe if they come back with a composition they actually wanted to play, they could just look a lot better.
I gotta say though, I mean, they looked like they had a strategy for that glaive early on. They went for that level 1 gank, they got a kill out of it. They certainly weren't too far amiss in terms of not knowing what to do with this roam glaive. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that's the case, but they certainly
Maybe
look
they're
like,
just trying to save face.
maybe. But they certainly looked like they had some sort of plan in action ready for that roam glaive to happen. I agree. I don't think it necessarily was the best pick. It did definitely open them up to that Rhyme pick, which seemed to be so dominant against them. But we are into the draft phase of this next of the best of 3. And it's going to be Kestrel, banned out here by THN Envy. They don't want to give that away, and they aren't comfortable first picking it. So that is going to be banned off the table, meaning that Mean is going to go for the Lyra here. Adagio still left up.
Quite a few picks still left up, and it looks like they are going to be leading towards that Adagio. Another thing to point out, there was a roster change for the side of Mean Kitties as they bring in Mayra to this second game of the series.
Yeah, that's going to be coming in there for Mean Kitties. Looks like it's going to be Catherine and, wow, Celeste locked in here. So change of pace for the Mean Kitties lineup. I know that Fee is an incredibly dedicated Catherine player, so maybe see her a little bit more at home on that particular hero. And now we're waiting for the retaliation final draft phase for the A side here for Team Envy, or THN Envy rather.
I had Dowsey trying to tell me that it's not physics, it's physics.
Okay. I mean, I got told by physics that it was Fee, so I've always said.
Hey, if it's the player that looking at it, I would have said physics. But if the player tells us something, we go with what the player says.
I had this conversation with it because we used to duo a little bit in sort of Pinnacle of Awesome level, and
Okay.
and I kept calling her physics, and she said,
You
"Why?"
dropped this name over here.
She kept saying, "Why do you keep saying my name is physics? It's not physics, it's Fee." And I'm like, "Oh, so I can't say Phi?" She's like, "No, it's Fee." I was like, oh, "Okay." That's why I learnt my lesson.
If the player tells us that's how they want to pronounce it, that's how we pronounce it. That's simple.
So
That's what I'm saying.
we've got the Finn coming through here, the Vox Adagio, and it's going to be the Jewel. So it could be the addition of the Weapon Power Jewel lineup to the Mean
Triple
Kitties roster.
stun comp.
And Bacon seems excited, and on that note, that means I'm going to hand it over to you to continue that excitement into this game.
All right, guys. We're loading into the game right here. This should be pretty good. We got the new player coming in, Mayra here. So I'm excited for this Bacon triple stun comp. You seem pretty excited about it.
I'm absolutely excited about it. It's triple stun. This composition goes way back, and this was originally like one of the only compositions that had 3 on-demand stuns that, as long as you hit your skill shots, you got the stuns off, and it was just disgusting how well you could chain these stuns together and just completely lock people down. We'll see if they can have that same level of effect here. As Mean Kitties, they need this win to keep their winner's bracket dreams alive, as this is double elimination, so you are not out of it with just a single loss.
Yeah, that's really cool. I definitely like that part of this tournament. So we're gonna start things off. No early clash. Looks like both teams happy to go ahead and just take the front, take the mid, and move back to lane. So actually, I am free low on the box, who did take the forward camp, and this is something a lot of higher level players do, to just go ahead and boost your laner up just a little bit extra.
And having NK Fan on this Jewel in the lane could be pretty risky there, because obviously melee versus ranged laner typically goes in favor of the ranged laner. So I'm kind of surprised that they actually went for this setup with the Celeste in the jungle as opposed to in the lane. But NK Fan starting to feel the effects of that a little bit already.
Yeah, the thing is, like with Book of Eulogies, if he's getting last hits, he should be able to regen. Look at that regen right? So like if he's getting last hits, he's gonna do okay. What you're saying definitely makes sense, I think, as far as like having the range on Celeste. You're gonna outrange. It might be a little easier in that regard, but she's gonna get levels out of the jungle, so she's gonna hit that level 8 a lot faster.
Yeah, absolutely, and able to get that level 8 is really big for the Jewel. Getting that first overdrive on, getting to level 6 is huge for the Jewel. Having that big red button, even on a weapon Jewel, is still a pretty important ultimate to have as early as possible. Down in the jungle, you're also going to get a lot of gold and experience onto the Celeste, who's looking to obviously do kind of the same thing. Both of these heroes really want the levels as much as possible.
Yeah, I think Celeste's jungle has been really nice so far. NK-Fawn is the one having some trouble, and NK-Fawn will be going down. That's your first blood. Going over the way to THN. And THN taking dominance in game 1, taking first blood in game 2.
Yeah, able to get first blood. Now, the one thing I'm really also going to be curious about is, as Iron Freelo has to run away from the lane a little bit, is going to be the build path for Israel on this Adagio. Starting off with the double Swift shooters there. It's going to be interesting to see. I assume it's going to be a Crystal Adagio, but yet to be seen, as it is going to be the weapon Vox at the very least.
Yeah, I would expect that they're going to see this. If they come through with like a weapon Adagio, then that would speak to their level of comfort up against their opponents, I would
I'm
assume.
just more surprised that the double Swift shooters start. Like that kind of is pretty surprising. I don't know if that was just a misbuy or what happened there, but typically you don't need the double attack speed in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. Maybe, he dipped back to shop, just he didn't want to save up a little more money, so he'll just quickly buy this item. Sometimes they do it, and then in hindsight, they're like, oh, it wasn't the best thing.
Have to find out, because again, NK-Fawn could be in some trouble here.
Yep, NK-Fawn definitely being harassed. Myra doing her best to hang around in lane. NK-Fawn really just trying to get these last hits, but with Finn and Adagio hanging around, it's almost impossible. Physics makes the rotation up. Some Helios down into that mustache bush. Very important. I think this less rotation up helps a lot there. Mayra trying to frontline, taking so much damage. Israel is actually low on energy, so this is a pretty big win for me and Kitties.
Yeah, able to at least stave off for now, but this is still going to be a little bit of jungles getting stolen away. THN Envy make this rotation down. Now they may have caught Myra a little bit, but not going to be able to get the kill.
THN just made a really nice move where it was like Vox and Adagio rotated down together. They give the mid over to Adagio. He's able to go ahead and self-heal on the fronts, and suddenly he's full energy. Still in fighting shape on the map, and just a nice clean rotation out of THN.
Absolutely, and not only that, but they also, by doing that rotation that way, Dorcas actually moved a little bit further away so that he wasn't in gold range of all those minions, so the gold going to both of the carries instead of going to one carry and the captain.
Oh, core collapse into the Helio. I'm Free Low has to get that fountain from Dorcas. I'm not sure that he necessarily would have died, but you can definitely feel the panic.
Absolutely, just wanting to make sure that he stays safe, not wanting to have any chance of getting that kill going back the other way. Now here comes, man.
Yeah, Myra just kind of caught out there. A little bit too far forward, pays for it. That's going to be fountain completed though now for the Catherine, so when they get back out, they'll have fountain available. You see something that they've done right now is they've switched the Celeste with a couple levels up into the lane, so Celeste is going to start farming out this lane now.
Yep, that's where I think it should have been from the start, really. Obviously, they wanted to get the levels onto Celeste from the jungle, but Celeste's going to be in trouble here, 3-on-1.
Yeah, they boot forward. She might go down, actually just barely staying alive as that fountain comes out, but now Myra and NK-Fawn are up into the lane. Solar Storm's available. If they could like double stun up one of these key targets, they might be able to find a kill. Although fountain coming up right now for Finn, you don't want to force anything anymore.
They are going to be just backing off immediately. Obviously, they don't know when that fountain is going to be off cooldown, but they recognize, okay, we're getting a little bit too far onto the enemy side of the fold. We don't want them to now all of a sudden just turn this around and take the fight to us, because we know we don't have the fountain, as it was used very early on.
Yeah, I understand the use of that fountain. It definitely hurts, though, and it completely changes how you want to approach, your engagements up until that's going to be ready and active again. Which means that Dorcas can kind of do what he's doing. He actually could have been a little more aggressive to clear out the scout trap, but he just goes ahead and controls this area, plugs up that brush. Let's Iron Freelo know what rotations are happening.
As of right now, you can see the gold lead is pretty sizable for how little action there's really been in the game. As with only 2 kills, it's still about a 2,000 gold lead for THN Envy. They're just able to farm up more efficiently than their opponents at this stage of the game.
There's your force to core. Physics gonna take a lot of damage. And that wait for it actually coming through as well. The burst judgment's gonna come out, lands but not stunning up Inkifon. There's your big red button off of the mark. Mayra throws out that fountain at the end of it. Actually, Dorcas forced this fountain out as well. So they lose 1. Not much more. Well, they're gonna lose Gold Miner as well. But the thing is, I'm looking at Mean Kitties and like these guys just want to scale. Like you're a weapon jewel, that is not an early game hero.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It's all about getting.
That was a nice Solar Storm. That was pretty nice. Gold Miner is contested. Oh, it's gonna go over to THN. Probably goes down off the back of this Helios from Physics come through. Not gonna deter THN. Actually, Israel's gonna probably be able to take the mid away as well.
And everything just seems to come up in favor of Envy's favor. A couple of these trades and fights could go either way, but the very little things that TH and Envy are doing in order to ensure that it goes their way, it's just gonna continue to build up and snowball, having doubled now the gold lead that they had just a moment ago, up to 4,000 gold in their favor. And every little bit this gold lead increases makes it that much more difficult for Mean Kitties to get back in this game.
Yeah, it's tough. I really feel it's just bend don't break situation for them. They have to continuously try to find accumulation of gold across the map. Force cord blocked by Physics. Nice job there, but Myra is pulled in. She's able to use Merciless Pursuit to get that little speed boost and get out of there, so they're not able to capitalize and find that kill. Mean Kitties, if they can get out of those kind of situations, those kind of, someone getting pulled in with a Force cord, I think that's a big win for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's avoiding a fight is really what Mean Kitties have to do right now. They don't want to be involved in these trades unless they have an advantage of, like, say, having a Crystal Sentry on their side. But, of course, the side of THN knows that they don't want to be fighting there either. So they back off and go back into the lane.
That was like less than a second worth of rotation difference. If Catherine was a little... This big red button comes out. Kath was a little closer. She might have been able to find the stun. Wild Blast Tremor comes out, lands onto 2. Nothing to really follow there, so I guess just stats on Catherine's passive there.
Yeah, well, getting that passive stacked up, never a bad idea. That's a little bit of extra defenses. It's not really going to be enough to make a massive impact in this game. As this first turret goes down, it looks like THN, they are done.
With the Force Accord, Physics, he didn't have any energy to turn it around. Inkifon jump, Rock Leap, it's going to come out. They find the stun. Adagio can throw out a couple of attacks on the Inkifon, but nothing else to follow. I'm Free Low, though, on this weapon box is starting to do some serious damage.
Yep, has the breaking point and that first Tyrant's monocle. Very likely going to be building a second monocle as well. This is the Vox build that I personally love the most. We see it pretty frequently on the weapon Voxes. It's that breaking point double monocle. You just get so many stacks of that breaking point so quickly. Crits flying out left and right. And it is a very devastating build once it gets online.
Yeah, exactly. And very similar story for the weapon Jewel, but Jewel is just behind. Like, it's not even close when it comes to the output that they're going to have in these fights.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Jewel is, sort of, it's a bit closer when you look at the two junglers, like NK-Fan versus Israel, but it's different levels of utility that are required to come out there, different levels of farm that are needed. Obviously, Israel having the War Treads and the Alternating Current is still going to be effective. It's still going to be able to just apply that buff and a little bit of healing. They get the gold payout.
Myra threw out that blast. Side down. A nice block on the Force Accord there coming out of Physics. Put in that reflex block to work. So Gold Miner going the way over to THN. Mean Kitties, they try to respond. They use the Blast Tremor, but nobody dies off the backside of this. See if they can get anything done here. Inkifon. Thunderstrike's starting to do a little bit of damage. They're going to have to start to pay attention to that. There's these Helios coming out here. Let's see if he can make one go supernova. Let's see if that damage. I mean, there's like even no damage right there. Maybe I like caught out. I'm free low. I am a weapon Vox, and get wrecked.
And I am
double kill right there. He is end of lane and he's feeling himself.
like about 10 stacks of the breaking point was all that was needed there to just melt both of those members of Mean Kitties and THN Envy. They are just absolutely on a roll now. 12 and a half minutes in, they've got 8 kills. They have an 8,000 gold lead at this stage of the game, and it is just looking more and more dire for the side of Mean Kitties.
Yep, it really is. I think same story as before, that Mean Kitties don't necessarily need to switch up their playstyle, although they need to play better in these situations, like just a little tighter, right? You can't make the little mistakes that they were making. They still are in this game, in a sense. Like, Broken Myth completed now for Celeste, and if Celeste can start to zone a THN before, as they start to move in, start to get some stacks up, make some of these heroes go supernova, they could find some significant damage, but it's kind of a stretch, I guess.
Yeah, well, right now it's gonna be I Am Freelo just on this turret, melting that down with those crits. 80% crit rate. Actually, no, he has the lucky coin as well, so it's actually going to be sitting at 100% crit rate, I believe.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too shabby, you know. It's okay. Having every single one of your attacks be a critical hit.
It's pretty good. When I came over from Dota, and the way like the crit stack there, it's not the same, right? So you get diminishing returns. And when I learned that you could just continue to like add how much crit you're getting, that just blew my mind. It's so strong. It is so strong.
Decent gold payout collected.
Decent gold payout a minute before the Kraken here for the side of THN Envy. And now they are on the hunt.
What, Dorcas? What was that one? Living up to his name there.
Well, there goes a random ultimate from Adagio as well.
Yeah, so it's happening. It's happening right now.
Flexing.
Mean Kitties are in a position to get some work done with a couple abilities being on cooldown here.
I think the worst part is like they wouldn't have even seen the Adagio ultimate go down, so they have no idea that that's not available.
It's just for the viewers. Dude, THN, the real spectator team.
Oh boy. But either way, Mean Kitties, they don't want any part of that. They're gonna be backing off. Crystal Sentry is gonna be falling. Has 1 life left, but I don't think it's really gonna be able to make much use of that 1 life remaining because the Kraken has just spawned. THN Envy. There is a scout trap in there for Mean Kitties,
Yeah.
but
Cast not method.
only positive they have at the moment.
Well, let's see what they can do. It seems like almost every engage, Physics is up in the lane trying to push it. Well, it's either like Calf or maybe Jewel hanging around as you get into this tri-brush area, but Kraken is being captured very quickly. Mean Kitties need to start to make a team rotation. Dorcas has forced the cord ready. We're going to be looking for this combo right here. Big red button's going to come through. Kraken unleashed for THN. Myra taking a lot of damage. Tries to get out of this one. Core collapse on the backside. Physics not enough. Physics is down. Vox, so much damage. 580 on that crit. I Am Free Illo. My goodness. Just destroying.
This should be the final push of the game. I mean, the Vox is so strong. The rest of the team has more than enough utility and survivability to keep them alive.
Oh, they'll force the cord over. Get wrecked. The Cap might buy a little bit of time here. They're going to let her go.
Yeah, they don't even care. They don't have to worry about the captain there. Yeah, getting an ace would have been cool for them, but it's not necessary. The Kraken is very healthy and cannot say the same for Physics.
Oh my goodness. And this is why I love to get the tier 3 boots up on Vox, because you see, the thing is, when you're a weapon Vox, you want to have boots active, like every time you engage. So he boosts forward, he gets that pulse out, Sonic zooms, and just like chunk, so much damage. And you're able to re-engage constantly. Not like it's going to matter here is THN move in to claim Vein Crystal turrets. They're going to get the Vein Crystal as well. Trying to kill Celeste on the healing platform. That's not right. And THN, very impressive stuff here.
Yeah, very dominant performance. able to take the fight to Mean Kitties in back-to-back games and just really didn't give them much of a chance all throughout. They got an early lead and just never looked back. I am Freelo on this box, 11.4 thousand gold earned. That is more gold earned on the Vox than I believe the entire team of Mean Kitties.
It's close.
Let me pull up my calculator real quick. I'm gonna do
We're
a little bit of
actually,
math.
we're actually going to get the calculator out here, boys.
Oh my
We're taking this to the next
God.
level. But regardless of what happened there, THN Envy were just absolutely dominant. I mean, they swept Mean Kitty to the side. They put them in the litter tray. They said, "Bad kitty." And
Bad kitties.
THN Envy take it 2-0 in this best of 3. Again, another sort of 2-0 sweep here that was very, very, very dominant from these guys. Honestly, that second game there, they bought 2 sets of war treads early on. They knew exactly who they wanted to blow up. They were going to just circumnavigate the Catherine. They were going to breeze past the Jewel, and they went all in on Physics every single time. Just those double war treads from Adagio and Finn made it very easy for Vox, even without his tier 3 boots. And, Humanist said he picked those tier 3 boots up early. They ran straight at that Celeste every single team fight and blew her up.
I Am Freelo was 491 gold away from having more gold than the entire enemy team combined.
Wow. Vox so strong as well. I mean, that Vox is one of the only weapon power carries that can really effectively make use of the breaking point double tyrant monocle, and especially with the 100% crit that he picked up, like he said, Tasty Bacon. Once those breaking point stacks go up, because remember you get breaking point stacks really readily from the double basic attack that comes out from the Sonic Zoom. You start to hit like a truck as that team fight goes on. So yeah, I mean, Freelo certainly gave some Freelo to his team because they breezed through that best of 3.
Indeed.
So, that means we're going to be going into our final best of 3 series of the night, and I will just make sure that we're ready to show who it is. I believe it is going to be between Mindhunters and Glaven Esports, and that is what we've seen as the standings are so far. Remember, that is subject to change based on who could potentially, turn up and who could not turn up. We've had some just issues with teams being a little bit late, so we had to change the games over. But you can see the games today. We had Team Azeroth versus Final Gaming VG 2-0. Team Trolls versus Seawall Magma 2-0. Mean Kitties versus THN Envy. THN Envy take the 2-0 there. It has been a very dominant game of 2-0s in these best of 3s so far for the VGL Challenger Series Spring Split round of 64. Now, before we move into a break, because we're going to go to a quick break after this, we have a giveaway to tell you about. We are doing 9,000 giveaway each week, and there is a grand giveaway of 2 Elgato HD 60S, courtesy of Elgato, in conjunction with the Vainglory League. And a prize that I didn't tell you about, not a giveaway especially, as well as the $5,000 for this tournament, Elgato are actually producing custom VGL capture cards with the winning composition of heroes printed onto the capture card.
What?
Yeah, I
How do
know.
I get one of these?
I know, right? They are
Whoa.
producing for the winning team of the Vainglory League Challengers
That's cool.
Split 1. They will have a custom VGL capture card, so a red, I think it's like half red with the VGL logo on it.
Dude.
And then it's
Can
going to
we
have
enter this?
the winning composition of heroes printed onto it as well. So I believe whatever was the most common composition for them in their final series or their final game series or the heroes of their choice from that series,
That's
they are going to get that printed onto their capture card. I mean, if that's an insane gift, for a prize, I've not heard of anything better than that yet. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, and big, congratulations to Elgato and Vainglory League to make that happen, because I am pretty darn jealous of that prize. I mean, you can hear the casters. We all want one, but we know we can't get
No,
one.
it's so sick,
I'm not
dude.
joking. Like my capture card, I have the internal card on my computer, and there's a big window on the side of my case, and the capture card is what sits in the very front of that window. And that would just be so sick to have like a capture card like that sitting inside that window on my case. Like, I am so jealous.
We're going to go to a 10-minute break, guys. When we come back, we will be into the final series of the day. Stick around, ponder over those amazing capture cards that the winning teams are going to win, and go and enter the Vainglory Ice giveaway too, as well as putting yourself in for just some regular HDS 60 capture cards. Or HD60S capture cards. They're pretty good capture cards, so you should definitely enter into that competition. When we come back from the break, we should have Mindhunters versus Glaven Esports. Stick around.
Hello?
Who is this?
It's fucking lit. One, two, three.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Vainglory League Challenger Series. Split 1, we're into our final best of 3 of the day, and that is going to be between Mind Hunters and Glaven Esports. That's right, our original scheduled match has stayed the same, and my casters have stayed the same too. Humanist and Tasty Bacon. We are ready to roll into this final best of 3 series. I believe draft is very soon underway. How are you guys feeling? It's been a really good night of Vainglory Esports. I've been so anticipating the return of Vainglory League, and it's been really good fun to watch.
It's been good for me.
Oh, yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad to know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking forward to getting back at it in the official leagues of Vainglory. And now that we've got the Vainglory League underway, we're going to have the Vainglory 8 this weekend.
Oh, dude.
Unbelievably excited.
So much stuff going on. I think there's also Vainglory League tomorrow. There's also the North American League, which is VIS going on as well. Loads and loads of stuff.
I'm not involved tomorrow, so it's not as important.
Okay, well, there you go. Tasty Bacon has spoken.
I'll be able to tell you how I really feel tomorrow.
I'm just gonna nod my head.
I can't see you, so that doesn't work. That's okay.
So
you can turn on the stream and see him in a few minutes.
We've got a bit of
got
a bit of an indication into the meta. So we've started to see some things transpire, some things that have been, what we assume to be pretty standard. Some things which haven't been as standard. But again, Adagio's still up there, Ringo's still up there. We've seen some Celeste creeping back in, gentlemen. So, that's definitely been a popular pick. But Jewel is the ban here by Mind Hunters. And it looks like we're going to see a response by Glaven Esports. We'll have to see what they pick up on their ban.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
That's what I have to say. Your first ban, let's get the Jewel out of there. Okay.
They're waiting. They are really, really thinking about this first ban, and Kettle seems to be the choice here. Some teams still really...
Flicker hover.
The Flicker hover, that'll be interesting. Flicker does get locked in here by Mind Hunters. Flicker, first big sub... I mean, I remember one of the... I think it was Graskun from... I think, is it now for Rogue? And he used to say that Flicker is like one of the best roams in the game, and looks like Mind Hunters definitely agree with that in some respect. I think it's definitely first pick worthy for specific compositions. Going to be a response by Glaven Esports though to pick the Adagio, and it looks like they're making a choice between the Ringo and the Vox right now. Vox is the lock-in, so a good response you'd say.
I think Vox will do okay. Flicker has the most fun up against squishy lane carries like a Ringo, like a Celeste.
Dude, this is just a heavy siege lane composition coming out from Mindhunters. Just like put pressure on lane with Flicker, Soars in lane, maybe a Crystal Power Kestrel from the jungle. I mean, you could see it that way, or you could go down the Crystal Power Soar route, which seems to be the way that a lot of people end up going with Soar. But I don't know. I'm excited if this is a heavy push composition.
I like the CP Kestrel with the Flicker because that's like you're doubling down on the invisibility, which is going to be super hard to deal with.
Looks like the Sky is the response here in the jungle here from Glaven Esports. This is interesting because often you tend, if you're going to see the cheese composition that I always run into in low Vainglorious High Pinnacle of Awesome is like Soar and Lyra. Like you just stick a Soar and a Lyra in lane and they just shove towers, they shove waves. It becomes really annoying to deal with. So we'll have to see where this one goes with this particular composition. Though this is the time where I hand over to you two wonderful gentlemen. You have been fantastic all night. I've listened during my spectating and I have been filled with glee, filled with joy. It's been music to my ears, and I'm going to allow you to play another symphony as you get on with this next game.
That was beautiful. I feel like I need a moment, but since we are in charge of the mic right now, we can't really take one. But thank you once again, Scoundrel. You make it so easy for us. And ladies and gentlemen, we are out onto the fold with Tasty Bacon. And these teams, Mindhunters, Glaven Esports, we'll see how they're going to match up. A few of our earlier series were kind of one-sided. Although these teams, I mean, they would go back and forth, some of them, for 15 minutes before collapsing.
Glaven Esports going to make this early move into the Mindhunters jungle, stealing away both of their forward camps and going to be picking up this Ancient Treant for their troubles as well. So that's going to be a really nice start for Glaven Esports in terms of the jungle and really kind of putting a damper onto Jake Lee's early game, but it did allow Saw to get that entire first wave of minions, get that lane shoved into the turret, and find the sky.
They found the sky. Who is this? Mindhunters? I thought they completely lost that rotation, but the fact that the three of them stuck together, move down, get the sky. They also take away the mid, and Kestrel's going for the backs now. That's a big win.
Yeah, I love that rotation that they did. By shoving the lane so hard, it allowed the opportunity for Mobernator.
I think Mob it is.
Yeah, Mob.
This is how you name yourself, people.
But it allowed him to come down from the lane, rotate with the team, and then because... Ooh, actually, hold on.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of damage output you're going to have to respect there. But you were saying?
Yeah, I was just saying, it allowed them to then take advantage of the fact that they knew with their front camps being stolen that GE was going to have to move into their back camps, and then that was just an opportunity for them to continue that invade into the jungle and find the first blood of the game.
Yeah, it was pretty nice stuff. And right now, we're going to see Weapon Saw. I feel like you have to be a legit Saw player to make it work. It's a little bit harder to execute on right now, but look at he's chunking through this Adagio. He could have ran in there, but he's going to go with the Suppressing Fire, even though he still has turret aggro. He gets it. Oh, calculated.
Oh my goodness, that's like one of the trolliest kills I've seen in quite some time. Meanwhile, player Unbound in a good sticky situation, gonna get taken out pretty easily there. Nice job by the side of Mindhunters to just make these plays work, even if just barely.
I am enjoying this game thus far. 3 minutes in, 3 kills. This is what we want to see. It's starting to be a one-sided affair, but for the side of Glaven Esports, they have a lot of potential to easily come back into a game, especially if a Weapon Saw gets taken down when what they're trying to do is shove a lane. It can really cause trouble for them. Looks like Suppressing Fire down again. Remanik getting some good damage, just being annoying, having a chance to use that flicker.
Yeah, just trying to be a nuisance, and that's exactly what Flicker is best at early on. Just being a nuisance. You know, one of the things I always like to do when I play Flicker is just spend most of the game just running around popping scout traps, because you have such incredible movement speed once you get that stealth. But
it's just your little mini game within the game.
Yeah,
I get it.
all I do.
Yeah.
All I do on Flicker is just run around taking care of vision.
I think this is going to be interesting. Like if you get Saw spun up and they're able to use Mooncloak at the right point in the game, like you could get on top of the target and just start wailing away at them. It could be pretty gnarly if they play that correctly.
Absolutely is right now. Going to be making another rotation down to the shop. Just getting that Sorrow Blade completed for the Saw. Frostburn for the Kestrel. And there's the Fountain of Renewal for the Flicker. So all 3 members of Mindhunters getting their first tier 3 items under their belt. And we'll see if they can start getting more damage onto this turret. Because with a Weapon Saw, it still holds true. Like, you really want to just get that first turret down as early as you can. It's not as imperative as it used to be, where it was pretty much if you didn't have the first turret down by the first 5 minutes, you lost the game. It's not quite that extreme, but big fight.
Yeah, Adagio, he moves into the mustache bush and just gets ripped apart because he just gets slowed up by this binding light. Or no, is that the fairy dust coming out? Oh no, the wall! They almost find the kills right here. Check Lee. He has the one shot available if he wants to go ahead and look for a kill right here. But yeah, you get slowed up by this Flicker. Saw's just hammering away, and you're talking about taking a turret early. Turret's down in the blink of an eye. They're looking for kills right here. This is gonna be Vox slowed up, chop down, double kill here for Saw. Oh, it's happening.
Yeah, this is absolutely what they were looking for. The slow from Flicker. You're going to have slows coming out from Kestrel as well with that Frostburn. And it's all just about keeping targets in place for Saw to just lay into them once he gets spun up. And that is exactly what we just saw in the lane.
Yeah, that was picture perfect. Absolutely. It just shows you how fast that can happen. So really cool rotation right now happening. You're going to see both cores from the side of, I keep forgetting the name, Mindhunters. They move to the back, so Saw's getting the gold as well as Jekka Lee on the backside. Flicker just kind of scouting for his team.
Yeah, well, they are going to be looking for another opportunity, but Sky having none of that from Flicker. Now Kestrel starting to come online herself.
Yeah, Flicker finding the slow onto the box there. Kestrel getting good glimmer shot damage down, but Sky, stuff from above there to disrupt things a little bit. Bear gonna kill you. Gotta be careful here. One shot's gonna come out. Oh, right where it needed to be. I was gonna get dirty with that one, but 6-0, 6 minutes in. These guys just absolutely steamrolling right now. You can tell this is one of the saws. Does he tick down? Reflex onto the player unbound goes in for it. Fairy Dust gonna slow him up. They turn it around. They find the kill. So it's a kill on the Saw. They're on the board, but yeah, Mindhunters really just complete dominance.
Yeah, the Saw is working out to perfection. You said you have to be really good at Saw to make the weapon power Saw work. Well, it looks like Mob is really good at Saw because it is working.
100%, dude. 100%. This guy. There's certain players like you get on a Saw and you're like, okay, this is a professional player playing Saw. And then there's other players that get on there and you're like, do you play anything else but Saw? Like Zelsiar, like he's one of these guys, right? Yep. Just like if it's a decent draft with the Saw in it, you're always scared.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's something you then have to keep in the back of your mind at all times up against this team. Will they just break out that Saw and just lay into you with it? That is exactly what Mob's looking to do here. They're working on this Crystal Sentry. It's gonna go down, and now they have a fight.
Oh yeah, Sky goes down. Fountain actually used, so a complete loss here for GE. This is tough. Glaven, I'm not sure what they're going to be able to do in the next minute or so. As Gold Miner is going to go the way of Mindhunters over here. They're up 8-1, 8 minutes. They're getting a kill a minute. They're getting everything they need.
Man, absolutely everything going their way. They need to look for some more pushing onto the Turks. The one downside of the weapon power Saw is that if you don't end the game early, you can end up in some situations where it just isn't able to get involved in the fight. But speaking of involved in the fight, Pro back just kind of gets himself involved in that one.
Yeah, I mean he's learning about playing against Flicker right now. I think that's pretty safe to say. Like he just walked up into that mustache brush. He had flares on himself, so he could have flared that out. Just a bit of a mistake there. Player unbound taking a lot of damage. Ooh, those glare shots coming through. One shot's gonna be off the mark. Player unbound tried to walk back into it, but was just a little bit late.
Right now, just continuing this dominance. They take down that turret. X-Pro back, what are you doing?
No. I told you, learning about Flicker. He's having a little bit of a study here. He's learning that you can't move out anywhere, expect Flicker to be there, and expect Saw to just start pummeling you.
And like, I understand wanting to scout out, wanting to get some vision down and all that, but you can't be moving on your own. I don't care who you're up against, whether it's Flicker, Saw, Kestrel, it doesn't matter. If you're not winning, you can't just be going out and face checking areas of the map without the rest of your team there.
Do you think this game calls for contraption second item?
I feel like normally it would, but they're so far behind at this point that I don't think it's gonna be enough or really have enough of an impact to warrant it. It's one of those situations where you have to at least be even in the game in order to go for that contraption very early on. For now, they just need to focus on going for these fights because you just kind of start to expect, okay, your opponents are probably right around the corner. Like you start to just expect them to be there at all times, and so the contraption doesn't really help you out because it isn't required, I guess, is a better way to say it, because you just kind of assume that your opponent is right there at all times anyway.
It's tough, man. I see what you're saying, but it's also like he's going to buy flares and scout trap. I feel like he's just going to go broke. You'll never be able to complete another item. It's a tough spot to be in. I do not envy Glaven right now. This is a pretty tough spot.
Yeah, absolutely. A very, very tough spot as Mob just, again, so much damage. Pro back is not able to respond whatsoever. Turret is just going to fall.
Yeah, too easy. Look at that. Oh, one shot almost taking out the anything. And player Unbound has to use the boots to get back up to the healing platform. So these guys, they're forced back. They lost the choke point turret. That's one of the most important turrets to take down if you're weapon saw. Oh, look at that. They turn around the active camo X Pro back. He gets the self heal. He's trying to get back. Jacka leave 1, 2. Not going to be able to find that kill, although that was incredibly close.
Sentry eliminated. Will not be returning to the fold to help the members of GE, and player Unbound may not be able to either, because this is just a complete dominance from the side of Mindhunters. I mean, we're not even 12 minutes into this game, and they're already pushing into the crystal turrets.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, like, if you're playing a weapon Saw, yeah, by the time, like, Kraken comes up, you want to have the items that Saw has right now, and you want to be thinking about an infusion. He has these items completed. He's, like, half an item ahead, and an infusion is timing out at 12 minutes. Like, there's nothing that his opponents can do. Look at him. He just moves forward, just ripping through. Fountain comes out, but it's like he didn't even have a fountain, basically. Player Unbound's going to be caught out. Death from above comes down. There's a little bit of your forward barrage. Suri strikes over the top, buying him a little bit of time, but sneaky, disgusting little CP Kestrel hits him with 2 wonder shots, takes the kills. Looks like probably a gold mine, Bacon.
Most likely. I mean, Goldmine's sitting there full, just kind of waiting to be taken. And so Mindhunters, they're going to oblige. They're going to take that gold for themselves. The immense gold payout going their way. I mean, you look at the items. Just look at the difference in items between these two teams. You look at Saw, has 3 offensive tier 3 items, and now has the Aegis completed as well, for a total of 4 tier 3 items. Vox has 2.
Yeah.
That's all you have to really. That just kind of tells you how the game's going right there.
That's pretty much it. And the thing is, like, if Vox could find a way to stack up, well, no, he doesn't have a breaking point. God. Okay, so we have nothing. There's nothing. There's no way. There's no. I'm trying to theory craft a way for him to a way into it. Adagio caught out, just trying to be superhero. There's no way out here, Bacon.
There really isn't. It's an unfortunate thing to say. You know, you never like to call a game before the crystal actually explodes, but this one seems to be
okay. I've got the way.
Legs.
Sky's gonna win this game for them if they win the game. It's gonna be when Broken Myth's completed, he gets an infusion, and he goes into the fight with Boots up. If they can live that long, they have a chance.
If Broken Myth gets completed. Oh!
That was close.
I feel bad saying it, but I feel like if GE is going to have a chance in this series, if they have a sub, they need to use it. X-Pro back has not been contributing really anything to this game, and it's really harsh to say. Like, even as I'm saying it, I'm like, man, that's really harsh. But
yeah, dude, I was thinking about that. I was like, that's pretty cool.
But but I mean, I really can't think of any other way around it. And kind of wandering into Saw repeatedly and just feeding him kills over.
I mean, personally, I feel like he tilted. I can't. We can guess, right? Like,
I think the word that you gentlemen are looking for is inting.
Inting?
I'm joking. Inting is a phrase where you say intentionally feeding. But I think
I've never heard of that.
I think that was a very tough game for GE right there.
Yeah, I don't think
it
it was
a tough game for Europe.
I think like you said, maybe just getting tilted a bit. But even still, if one of your players is tilted, like, that's all the more reason to swap them out, just to get the mind refresh going, and try and just have a better round next game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That was definitely a really tough game for them. But we saw the composition that we thought would be the case, that heavy shove composition with the weapon power Saw, the crystal power Kestrel, and it seemed to come into fruition for Mindhunters so easily there. Really, really good performance from them.
Yep, super strong stuff.
Sorry, this is where
there's not really much else to say.
This is where I hand over to you guys to talk while I just update the graphic overlays.
Okay,
Humanist is like, yep,
no.
yep.
Yep.
Like,
So
there's
yes,
not really
no.
a whole
I
lot.
only answer yes, no questions.
There's
No,
just-
I was
there's
trying to
just-
have a drink of my coffee here, but no, it's okay. Do your overlays. We'll get a real professional.
I mean,
someday.
I'm done now. I'm done. So I literally needed like 15 seconds worth of free time.
Wow.
But Humanist was like, yep.
I love you. I love
Yep.
it, scoundrel.
Oh man.
So okay, that was pretty one-sided. A draft had a lot to do with it. Place the play of Adagio had a lot to do with it. I don't know. They're gonna have to make some significant changes.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really, really well thought out composition. That's the composition I would lose against in solo queue 9 times out of 10. They seem to have that execution down to a T, shoved those turrets really quickly, got a very early win on the board as well. That might have even been quicker than the game from the last series between Mean Kitties and TH and Envy, but I will have to double check on those times there. But it was super, super quick there from Mindhunters, and they're going to go into another game of this best of 3 up against Glaven Esports. If they win this next one, they round it out 2-0, and that will be 4 series from the round of 64 at a 2-0 scoreline as we head into the draft phase once more.
I believe it was about 10 seconds faster.
Wow.
I just
Tasty
got to
Bacon, the
take a
stat
look
guy.
at Yeah. It was,
Oh,
it
you
was
didn't need a
around
calculator for that one,
approximately. Nope, not for that one. That one's small numbers. I can work with smaller numbers. That's where my forte lies.
Hey, what happened?
Just had a quick exit of the draft phase, gentlemen. Don't worry. We'll be back very shortly. While we are waiting for it to happen, we've just got to wait for the casters to get back into the chat as well. While we are waiting for that, I will tell you about the wonderful giveaway that we have going on. We have got a fantastic giveaway facilitated by Elgato. He's giving away 1 or 2 HD60S capture cards ready for you guys to enter into the competition. And then we're giving away a weekly total of 9,000 ice over at VaingloryLeague.com. So go and check out that link in the bottom there, and you'll be able to enter for all of those goodies that they're giving away by VGL in partner with Elgato. Now, we are into the draft phase, which means I can come back in with Tasty Bacon and Humanist. And gentlemen, looks like the Kestrel is being considered a ban here for Glaven Esports. Don't want to face against that. Felt like it was the worst part of the composition, and it is going to be taken off the board.
It's definitely something that's tough to deal with if you're worried about anything else. And Saw was the attention. So, yeah, safe ban.
I'm interested in the Jewel ban coming through once again. I don't know, maybe it's just something that Mind Hunters just don't like playing against. I don't know what's drawing that ban out, but they obviously go for it again. Pick up the Lyra to answer the Lance first pick.
They do indeed. Lyra and Koshka come through. Koshka, an interesting one, very aggressive early on here by Mindhunters. What do you make of that, Humanist?
It's pretty strong what they've drafted up together. I feel like Koshka, if she plays around Lance, just being conscious of when he has Githian Wall up, she can do really good high burst damage and can actually chunk through Lance, make him feel squishy. She's doing all right.
By the way, I've got a new name for you in German, Tasty Baker. I know we call you Leckerspeck.
Yeah.
Well, you're now Leckerspeck de Statistiker, which means
This does not roll off the tongue very well.
which means Tasty Bacon. I think it means Tasty Bacon, the stats guy. So you're now Leckerspeck.
I don't think it means stats guy. I'm pretty sure that would just be like Tasty Bacon the stats. I'm pretty sure that's what that was.
Leckerspeck de Statistiker. I think.
It could be
Pretty sure that's
Statsy
just-
Bacon.
Statsy Bacon.
Tasty Bacon the statistical.
Or
Statsy Bacon.
maybe we should call you statistically Tasty Bacon. Maybe that's a better way of phrasing it.
Statistically, analysts and casters don't talk about drafts half the time the drafts are happening. Right now, we got a Scarf team.
We literally
got a
talked about
Glaive.
the first 2 picks, and then the entire rest of the draft happened, and we didn't say a word about it.
For battle.
In a Baron! Oh, my team, it's happening.
I feel like the Tasty Bacon conversation was more interesting. No, it's going to be a Scarf
Wow.
locked in.
That's even
and
more harsh than what I said in the game.
It's going to be Baron weapon power, you would imagine, locked in here for Mindhunter. So they're the first Baron of the tournament thus far. Does need a while to ramp up here, gentlemen. And we are going to head into game, which means I'm going to leave it over to the tastiest of bacons and a human who hopefully won't eat him.
Well, I'll get me some bacon. I don't know what I was gonna say. Dang it! Set me up. Swing and a miss. All right, team. Well, guys, we're out on the map right now. This is potentially a series-ending game here.
And not just the series ending, but also potentially the last game of VGL for today.
Dang. Well, let's see. Do these guys want to be buzz kills and end all the fun for everybody, or are they gonna go down one and push us into a game 3?
Lose one game to give fans false hope.
That's the best.
But either way, right now we're gonna see actually a bit of a role swap, as it is going to be X-Pro back in the jungle as opposed to on the captain position for the side of Glaven Esports.
Okay. I think it's going to be pretty interesting for the Scarf this game. I'm trying to figure out like how he stacks up against the Baron. Baron's he's both mobile and not mobile, which is like confusing to say. A little bit of engagement down here in the jungle. Looks like Koshika's going to be able to get out. But Baron, he's incredibly slow moving. While he does have his jump jets, and eventually he can feel extremely mobile late game, he's going to be pretty easy to hit with some of these Spitfires. And right now, damage stacking up on the player Unbound. He needs to get out of here. Githian wall's not going to be enough. Jekyll Lee's in. Jekyll Lee gets the kill. Afterburn forward, knocks him a little further away. X-Pro back trying to get on top, and Mominator with the jetpacks. They get the kill. 2 kills going the way of Mindhunters.
Beautiful play for Mindhunters to start this one off. Scarf is going to try and get into the Mindhunters jungle just to make something, you know, kind of balance out from this play, but will at least be able to steal away a bunch of camps. So that's the good news for Glaven Esports, but there isn't much of it.
Yeah, well, okay, honestly, if you have any sense that that's what Scarf did right now, Mindhunter should be shoving this wave as fast as they possibly can. And it looks like Lyra just kind of hanging out there. I'm a little bummed they didn't just super shove this lane, because it could be an opportunity to just damage the turret or also get back to shop so you come back with advantage in lane.
Not only that,
like
but
a super loss, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, not only that, but also the more minions that get killed by the turret, the less golden experience your opponents are going to get. So they do end up getting it into the turret eventually, but could have been a little bit more effective.
Uh-oh! Jump jet's taking a while to wind up. That's what I'm talking about. Baron, a slow-moving hero early on. He's going to go down.
Very nice job by Glaven Esports to get that kill on the board and just get a little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence underneath them. I feel like that's really important for them in this game because of the way game number 1 went. If they can just get, you know, that little bit of confidence boost, a little bit of comfort in this game, then it will go work wonders for them. As now, ooh, this is gonna be a second kill. Yes,
that's right. Bacon, the statistician with the true energy that we need. Bear gonna kill you. Feeling very good about that, but oh my goodness. Welcome to the game. This is Koshika. That is just burst damage galore.
Yeah, Koshika, if she gets rolling, is terrifying to play against. And, well, she's got 3 kills.
Jekyll should be able to get out of here, especially because they have to burn, knocking him back towards his own side of the map. Pretty close on both sides here, though.
Yep, absolutely. 2-3, already a much closer game, at least to start, for the side of Glaven Esports as they get those 2 early kills, but they do need to be very wary of this Koshika. 3 kills on the Koshika early on.
Does she have 3 kills already?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
She's got all 3 of the team's kills.
Yeah. So, that's going to get scary as time goes on. Especially, Lance like needs to be a front line, and if he gets burst down very quickly, that leaves Scarf so vulnerable.
Now, the interesting thing here is that X-Pro back just picked up a tension bow first item on this glaive. This is kind of the old school glaive build path, you know, starting off with that tension bow, going for that massive early burst. So they find the Koshika.
Yeah, and they find a way to not chain up any of their abilities right here. Koshika's still actually going to go down. I'm surprised. But that's a big pickup for them.
And they may be looking for more. Afterburn still getting on cooldown for now, but
player Unbound. Just kind of zoning out Mob and Riminik over here. Nice 2-man Githian wall stun them up as Bear gonna kill you and just continue to throw Spitfires, harassing His teammate X-Pro back takes away the backs, but this is Jack Lee, jumps forward, a little pouncy fun. Oh, yummy catnip frenzy. He's gonna be knocked off though. Well, he's got the damage right there. Mob actually jumps forward with the jump jets. Player Unbound has to get out of here. Scarf, you need to get into a better position as well. Scarf's boots are on cooldown, but he should be just far enough away. It's one basic. Ooh. If Player Unbound wasn't there, maybe he goes for that, but look at this Koshka. He gets all the way to the back so fast.
Lots and lots of movement speed on the Koshka, and able to clear out these camps very quickly with that Aftershock completed as the first item as well. So both of these junglers going to be very efficient at farming the jungle. Koshka tries to make a really sneaky play there to jump onto the lance to avoid the impale, but still gets hit by it, but is still able to get out pretty freely.
Like the lance and glaive, like if you just think of that combo, you're like, okay, that's lockdown. Like if you can say, if anything, that's some lockdown. But Jekyll is just running around them with this Koshka, and it makes it feel like they can't do anything.
When they do hit together, though, if they can coordinate themselves and get the impale into the afterburn or afterburn into the impale, however they want to do it, it's just massive damage.
Yep. Well, he landed it right there. Oh, Yummy Catnip Frenzy onto the backside. X-Pro back, a lot of damage. I don't even know if that was the Twilly Death use. It is right there. Jumping on a Player Unbound. The fountain comes out on both sides. Player Unbound misses the impale. Scarf on the top side. He might go down to Baron. On the bottom, Jekyll Lee finds the kill. They get the ace as the Scarf goes down in the lane. Wow, Mindhunters really putting it together. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful team play from Mindhunters. Koshka going for the Yummy Catnip Frenzy well before Mob was in that fight, and just knowing that the jump jets were going to come through, they were going to be able to start it off with that quick kill, and then the team coordinating with each other. They get another kill now and take out that sentry, and this is now starting to feel a little bit like deja vu.
Yeah. Baron's very feast or famine. At least that's my feeling with him as a hero. It feels like he's feasting. That's kind of how this game's going, and it's very snowbally with a weapon Baron, because eventually it's gonna get to the point where for the Scarf and even the Glaive, he can take him out in 2 to 3 shots as soon as he gets like his 3rd item up, which right now, Sarblade Breaking Point, he'll be able to do work in any team fight. Scarf's in a bad place. Scarf should be going down very shortly here. Actually, Fountain comes out. Very gonna kill you. Can't get enough damage out. Jekyll Lee looking for Player Unbound. He's gonna go ahead and give up on that. Get right back to his jungle. X-Pro back. You're in a bad place. X-Pro back. Okay. Trying to make the plays.
Wanted to kill Jekyll Lee in that situation, but again, you kind of have to question it. I mean, like, even if he gets the kill, yes, it gets the really nice shutdown gold, but you're pretty much guaranteed to be giving a kill right back over to Mindhunters, and now they have to try and stop this turret from going down.
Yep, Dragon's Breath gonna come out here. Bear gonna kill ya. Just kind of tickling them right now. I don't even know. Personally, I don't even level up Dragon's Breath. Like, if I'm playing the Scarf right now, I think you just want to get maxed out on your A and B as quickly as possible.
Well, takes 1 level of it. I mean, Scarf obviously is very strong late game. The problem is you have to get to late game.
He should be strong right now. Like, you can have a decent impact with a Shatter Glass now. I mean, I guess he's still level 7. He's not very level compared to the level 9 Koshka, the level 8 Baron right now. X-Pro back getting chased down, chopped down. The Sigil's gonna go down. Jekyll Lee, if he wanted to use that, he's gonna be back. He doesn't even care. Doesn't even care. Double kill. He gets out of here as turret switches aggro. Didn't even need to use the fountain, but he did. So these guys just rolling.
Yeah, Jekyll Lee is completely unstoppable right now. There is not really much you can do when a Koshka gets this far ahead. It's just so difficult. You just get blown up so quickly, and she's so quick that you can't even chase her when she gets low. It's unbelievably frustrating. Probably one of the most frustrating things to fight against is a fed Koshka.
And like, not only is she so naturally mobile herself, like boosting in and out of these fights, but then you get like the Sigil that comes down, and that gets activated. She just gets another move speed boost. So yeah. Every way, this is just a tough game right now. And once again, you see Mindhunter's doing the same rotation as last game, where the Flicker would hang out up in the lane, keeping vision, keeping tabs on things, and both carry and jungler move back to take the backs and make sure that's on both their cores.
Yeah, really impressive stuff from Mindhunters. Absolutely just exerting their dominance on the fold at this point. 10.5 minutes in, and they have a huge lead, almost looking at about 8,000 gold or so in their favor. That's about to increase even further with this gold miner going down. No one from Glaven Esports is even like considering coming out to try and check on this going down. So it's 225 gold for each member of Mindhunters, and here come infusions as well.
Uh-oh.
This is scary.
Okay, so what's the call if you're Glaven right now? What's the team call?
We'll have to hold that a bit because Mindhunters are actually just looking for a fight.
They're gonna kill you. What are you doing? You saw your. He was trying to teleport out. He's stunned up, and you're still hanging around. Scarf is dead. I don't know. My hand's in the air, Bacon.
X-Pro back is either disconnected or has given up. One of the two.
Either that or he's just really thinking about his next move. He's putting some real thought into that. Can't blame the guy
Really
trying to plan out the next move.
Really wants that next tier 3 item and he's just waiting for gold.
Just waiting for that triple gold. Triple gold pretty strong. Alright, here's Scarf's moment to shine. Dragon's Breath gonna come through, but the fountain comes out. At the same time on the opposite side, Bear gonna kill ya. Bear gonna die? Oh, jump jet score, there you go. That's a weapon, Baron.
Double kill.
Oh,
Double kill right there. Gets the lance. And this is gonna be GG, Bacon.
this is the strategy for X-Pro back, just making sure this team can't get aced.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That all
Valiant
makes sense
sacrifice
now.
in order to ensure that there cannot be an ace to come through.
I mean,
But
honestly,
12
like,
minutes.
We can only say, like, guess so much about this. When it comes to analysis of this kind of game, we need somebody from EU.
Yeah.
You know? So luckily, Scoundrel fits the bill there, and I'm sure he'll be able to break it down for us. This game's gonna end out here. Every series 2-0 today.
Yep, and you kind of expect that round one when you have 64 teams participating. The first round is generally pretty one-sided. We don't have too many upsets in the first round of the tournament, but as we get further on, the matchups will get significantly closer in theory. So, but Mindhunters absolutely roll here to finish off the first day of VGL Spring.
Well, I am from EU, and I can fill you in. Tasty Bacon, I believe you're right. This is round of 64, so in terms of what we're expecting, this is where a lot of the weaker teams should face a lot of the stronger teams. Sometimes in the middle of the bracket, you'll have fairly seeded teams, but, you know, I think we expected shorter games, a bit more dominant games in this round. Tomorrow we're going to start to see the winners bracket round 2 start off, and the losers bracket will begin to start tomorrow as well. So we'll start to see more competitive games as it goes on. Remember, every team that has lost here is not out of the competition. We have a loser bracket. It's a double elimination. You have 2 shots to keep yourself in with a chance of winning the Vainglory League Challenger Series Split 1, and obviously going on towards those challenge battles, which are also important of getting you into the Vainglory 8. But, you know, like you said, the X-Pro back using the tested strategy of not getting your team aced by AFKing in base. Definitely on board with that. It's a solid strategy. You know, you can't lose if you can't get aced, I suppose. But you can lose because they did. So, gentlemen, that is it. That's been our first best of 3 series of the Vainglory League. How have you enjoyed it tonight?
I had a lot of fun. Actually, kind of sad it ended. It feels like it ended quickly, but I mean, I guess this is about the normal broadcast time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited for the season to have kicked off. A lot of them a bit one-sided, as you said. We expect them to get better as time goes on, and it's just so cool. I mean, the Vainglory 8 super stacked with talent, but if you look at the names that are in the Challenger Series right now, incredibly talented teams.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. I'm thrilled to be back. Thrilled to be back casting the spring season. It was rough getting through winter without the top level of official Vainglory events, but now we're back, and I can't wait for this season to play out.
Absolutely. Now, that is going to wrap up our evening, gentlemen. That is going to be us done and dusted for the evening. Now, before I go, I'm going to give you all the details about this majorly awesome, that's a terrible phrase, giveaway that we have going on here of 2 Elgato HD60S capture cards, which you can win over at VaingloryLeague.com, as well as 9,000 ice being given away weekly. Great giveaways going on by Vainglory League, so go and check them out where you can. And remember, the winner of the Vainglory League Challenger Split not only gets their shot at getting into the Vainglory 8, they also win the lion's share of $2,500, and they also win those amazing capture cards printed with the Vainglory League logo, as well as the winning composition of heroes onto their capture card. It is a fantastic, one-of-a-kind winning prize. And tell you what, I'm thoroughly jealous of the team that could take away that winning bounty. Now, let's just go over what we have seen today, because we have seen 4 series. And the series have been Team Azeroth versus Final Gaming VG. That was a 2-0 to Team Azeroth. Team Trolls versus Seawall Magma. That was a 2-0 to Team Trolls. Then we had Mean Kitties going up against THN Envy. That was a 2-0 to Envy. And then it was Mindhunters versus Glaven Esports, who took the 2-0 that we just saw in very dominant fashion. 2 very quick games from Mindhunters, looking strong going on in this tournament. Now, we will return tomorrow at 6 o'clock CET, where I will be joined again by Humanist and Tasty Bacon, ready to take you through the round 2 of the winners bracket, as well as some potential losers bracket games that we could end up streaming as well. So it's going to be loads and loads of good games happening tomorrow at the same place, same time, here on Vainglory League, twitch.tv/Vainglory League. Remember, if you want to keep up to date with all the stats and the brackets, you want to check out how some of your teams are doing that haven't been streamed, you can go over to VaingloryLeague.com and you should be able to find out all of the information over there. And if you've been watching and you consider yourself a pretty darn good Vainglory player, you can sign up for the Challenger Split 2 in the future, which we will have over at VaingloryLeague.com as well. That will be happening after this split has concluded. Now, from myself, from Humanist, this is where you say bye, Humanist.
Bye.
Awesome. And from Tasty Bacon.
Well, actually, I do have to make one little correction on you there. I will not be here tomorrow.
Oh, you won't be here tomorrow.
I will be on a plane out to LA.
Oh, special. Anyway, that does mean that Tasty Bacon's got even...
Wow.
That does mean that Tasty Bacon has got an even better goodbye to give you, because he won't be here tomorrow. So, Tasty Bacon, please.
Yeah, I am absolutely looking forward to being back next week, though. I will be here then. But
that's too long.
Thank you, everyone,
done.
for tuning in. Oh.
I'm joking. I love you. Okay, and we will be back tomorrow at the same place, same time. Not with Tasty Bacon, I believe, replaced by Dowsey. I think Dowsey's replacing Tasty Bacon tomorrow, so it'll be Dowsey and Humanist taking the reins. And myself, as usual, trying not to mute myself on the Discord and also on OBS, so you guys can hear me. But we'll be back tomorrow. See you soon.
I just wanna feel like this. I just wanna feel like this. I just wanna feel like this forever. I love it when my feet don't touch the ground, touch the ground. Don't wanna let these colors fade, kaleidoscopes inside my head. Just wanna feel like this. Just wanna feel like this forever. forever.